Boys in the back. Boys.
What is good? We are back with another episode of the BITB, the bots in the basement. I am one of the bots in the basement, Connor Burks. Joined alongside me, as always, your man, my man, the legend,
The bot in the
myth,
basement.
the bot in the basement, Mr. New York Rick. If you don't get the joke, Mr. Kevin Durant took to Twitter and he called someone who was trash talking him on there a BITB, a bot in the basement. So now we've lovingly taken that on. We reached out to Kevin. We said, hey man, like, you want to come on the show? You want to discuss? Want to make sure we're clear on our acronyms? As you can see, not many views.
Kevin didn't respond?
Didn't hear back from old KD. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to just stick with the boys in the back for now.
I know some people who work with him. I'll put in a word and we'll see if we can get.
I bet he'd be down.
I wish he just put BITB and then, like, if somebody asked him, like, what's that, he clarified in a separate tweet.
Yeah,
but I mean,
because if he had done that, you're just a BITB. We could have framed it. We could have screenshot it. We could have done everything. All right. Enough about Kevin Durant.
We are the boys in the back.
We are the boys in the back. Enough about Kevin Durant, but not enough about basketball because the NCAA tournament just tipped off. I hope you joined our uncrowned bracket mayhem pool. My dogs tip off later. There's my bracket right there, as you can see. Big GEORGIA as the national champion. The road starts today at 4:30 against Gonzaga. Bulldog on Bulldog crime. Cannot wait for that to tip, which means, we got to get out of here. We got to keep this one tight because I got some basketball to be viewing later today.
You got to be home on the couch in front of the TV.
That would be ideal. We'll see if that happens because we're going to dive deep. We're going to get all into UFC London. We're going to talk about the entire card. We're going to go to Fight Feast, went and got an English breakfast, and pound for pound rankings. We are going to do British fighters, favorite, best.
Who knows? Pound for pound.
Pound for pound. It'll be up for discussion when we get there. We'll also do bets, parlay pals, the whole kit and caboodle. But before we get to all that, we did get a tweet from the now light heavyweight champion of the world, Magomed Ankalaev, saying that he has a date and he signed a contract for the rematch with Alex Pereira. I have a date and I accepted already. I hope my opponent will accept too. This time, there will be no 5 rounds. I don't get paid by the hour. Hashtag Big Onk. And I love that he does big, like normal, and then Onk, all capitals.
Because the Onk is big. It's a big Onk.
He's the Big Onk.
He's the Big Onk.
So do we think this is, we're just waiting on Alex Pereira? They're going to do it maybe 316 main event?
Do we have the response by Alex Pereira?
You know what? I don't know if we do. I don't know if we sent it in or not.
Okay, we don't have it, but Alex Pereira responded to that on his Instagram stories, saying, "Let's go, Ali," like acknowledging that Ali is writing this for one Big Onk. Ali Abdelaziz's manager, writing this for Big Onk. I wouldn't be surprised if they're already moving toward it. It seems like both sides have pretty clearly said that that's what they want. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were moving toward it. This feels more like a little bit of a pressure than an actual feeling like there's going to be a meeting of terms and an agreement. This feels more like, I'm ready to go, you ready to go? And Alex Pereira,
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Alex Pereira may not be ready to go. So this feels like gamesmanship. It feels like Ali on behalf of Ankalaev. Oh, we've got the response by Alex Pereira here.
There it is. Bora Ali Shama.
Yeah.
Looks like he's sitting first class.
Yeah, life's all right for Alex Pereira, even though he's not the champ anymore. But no, I expect that it'll happen relatively soon. I just don't know that the paperwork has been on Alex Pereira's side signed, so we'll see.
Yeah, honestly, if you lay out the pay-per-views, we already know what's going to happen for 314, 315. We're waiting on 316. There's rumors swirling around 317. I doubt it'll be Pereira and Ankalaev. I doubt 316 will as well. So, the soonest we could be talking about is late July.
Yeah, which means there's really no reason that paperwork would be being signed now. We'll see, but as we had that debate, I think heavyweight should have been his next move for Alex Pereira. I'm not surprised to see him want revenge as well. And if you're Ankalaev, it's the biggest fight you can get in the division still, even though there are other contenders that you might be able to face down the line. Alex Pereira is still the biggest name in that division and the biggest name that you can get. So it makes sense for him to do a rematch, especially if you feel like, hey, I was able to beat him pretty easily the first time. I don't think Magomed felt like it was much of a competitive match. So makes sense for both sides. And we'll see. I'm sure in the middle of the year sometime we will see it.
I just love how any tweet from an Ali managed fighter is you're automatically suspicious, but the big Ankh tweets, everyone is just like, this is Ali. No one is fooled by this.
Ankalaev has given away the gimmick in media day. He has said, I don't run my own social media, so we kind of he's like the most he has maintained kayfabe the worst. He is the most open about the fact that he doesn't run his own social. The other ones are kind of like, no, it's me. And sometimes, Ali has my phone. Like, they just try to bullshit so that Ali can get away with tweeting whatever the hell he wants. Ankalaev has said, no, I don't tweet it. So everybody knows that is not quote unquote big Ankh making these tweets.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think we likely get the rematch. Just when and where is what we still need to decide. UFC Abu Dhabi.
Well, he says he knows the date and he knows the location. So
we don't. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think Alex Pereira does yet either.
I don't know if anything has been signed. I don't know if anything like that. It almost feels like the Pereira tweet when he was just like, it won't be Ankalaev, and just left it at that.
But now we, in hindsight, realize that he was saying it won't be Ankalaev to beat him. And then now we also know that was incorrect.
UFC Abu Dhabi announced fight night, July 26th. Feels like this is starting to be a two-time thing for them. They get a fight night and a pay-per-view each year.
And it makes sense. And I mean, as we've kind of continued to highlight, the UFC is going where the money is. If there is economy that can be driven by site fees and going to locations and partnerships like this, it makes all the sense in the world. And so, more opportunities in the Middle East. And I mean, selfishly, it just means like there's more opportunities for us to see some fighters who like to fight in those regions as opposed to traveling. Namely Khamzat Chimaev, right? If we get more Middle East opportunities, that means we get more opportunities for Khamzat Chimaev to fight. I'm down.
And honestly, because of the money that gets thrown around in that part of the world, they're almost always high-level fight
big
nights.
names,
So I'm
Islam, Khamzat, like you're talking about the biggest names in the sport.
And then let's go even more selfishly. They usually start at like 10 a.m. I'm just like, this is perfect for me. I mean, we get a high-quality card. It's a great start time.
What was the last pay-per-view in the Middle East?
308 Holloway Taporia.
Did that start our time or did that start?
No, it starts theirs every time. It was like a 2 p.m. main.
It was
start.
okay. Yeah. Habib kind of was when this all was like swirling around, and Habib was one of the first ones that had the card start at the local time as opposed to the 10 p.m. pay-per-view like the UFC has done. I guess that has carried over, and I ain't mad about it either. You're right. Like an early start time is not bad.
It's beautiful for us. I think it's better for the UK fans.
Oh yeah, for sure. That
Australian fans?
No, not even, because it might be just like the day after.
I think it might be like 2 a.m. for them. No, because that would be 12. Either way, UFC Abu Dhabi. I'm sure it will be
good for everybody.
I'm sure it'll be class. It's good for everybody. All right, let's go to this weekend. The promotion returns to London for the first time since July of 2023, if I'm not mistaken. They did a England card last year, a pay-per-view, UFC 304, but that one was in Manchester. Headlined by Leon Edwards as well. Now he headlines this one. Overall, like I'm pretty excited for this card. Like looking down the roster, like a lot of Cage Warriors vets, a lot of interesting names, a lot of fights that could be really fun, and a lot of hometown people that I think the crowd is really going to be into.
I mean, I think there are certainly some notable names missing, obviously, right?
Of course, yeah. If you want to play that game.
You look at this and you're like, Paddy Pimblett's not on here. Arnold Allen. Now, Paddy Pimblett in a massive fight coming up here stateside, so that makes a lot of sense. Tom Aspinall obviously not going to be on a fight night. That is a pay-per-view headline fighter at this point. I mean, to be honest, like Leon Edwards is a pay-per-view headline fighter. So the fact that we're getting a fight night headlined by Leon Edwards, like it's a good offering. I'm with you. Like you look down the rest of the card and you're like, this is a very, very solid fight night, considering that some of those names are absent.
Wouldn't have minded Lerone Murphy. I know he's got a headline in the Apex. Wouldn't have minded an Oban Elliott. I thought that would have been
boy
as well.
Oban.
Yeah,
it sounded like when he was on the show with Ariel that he had something like big coming. So maybe
I think it was to go to Vegas and knock down the doors of the UFC headquarters and be like, "Where am I fighting?
Where am I going?" Yeah, but look, as I said, there's some names missing here clearly, but matchup for matchup, like I think this has enough to deliver a really exciting night for the British fans.
Oh, for sure. I think it's going to be great. And, it's no Abu Dhabi with the start time, but it's a favorable start time for us over here.
Yes, it is.
4 p.m. main card start. It's pretty good. Let's start with the main event.
Yes.
Leon Edwards, you mentioned, pay-per-view fighter, former welterweight champion of the world. Now, number one contender takes on Sean Brady, gets the hometown rub, being in his home country and everything like that. Sean Brady stepping in on short-ish notice.
Yeah.
Like, he's a replacement fighter in this one, but he had time to prepare for it, get ready for it. This is your technical striker versus technical grappler matchup. Like,
100%.
It's basically just like whose area of expertise is going to thrive.
Yeah, it's an old school style versus style fight. I think these days, and we talked about this when we were talking about like the meta of MMA. We had Coach Brandon Gibson on, and we were talking about the meta of MMA. There really aren't like traditional striker versus grappler matchups anymore, because when you look at Leon Edwards, he's a very capable grappler. His defensive grappling has shown to be pretty decent as well, or rather like takedown defense. And then when we think about Sean Brady, like he's shown that his hands are capable as well. We talked about this also when we were talking about Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. Everybody these days is so well-rounded that even though this is going to look kind of like striker versus grappler, it's not going to be just like Sean Brady shooting for naked takedowns or Leon Edwards and Leon Edwards like falling over for a takedown, nor is it going to be Leon Edwards just piecing up a guy who can't stand with him on the feet. Like, I just think those days of MMA are practically over. Like, they don't exist anymore. Everybody is so well-rounded. But I make no mistake about it. The best and most optimal game plan for Leon Edwards is to prevent Sean Brady from being in close, to prevent him from getting on his legs and strike with him. And for Brady, if he can take Leon Edwards down, that is going to be his easiest path to victory as well.
100%. Like, if Sean Brady can't get the takedowns, the fight isn't over. Leon will obviously
100%.
be in a much better position, and then vice versa. If Sean does get him to the mat, the fight is also not over for Leon as well. It's incredibly intriguing. I think Sean Brady losing to Bilal was essentially the best thing to happen for him. It feels like he's just leveled up his game, obviously getting that first loss on the record. It's something most fighters, if not all, it's a very select few that get to keep their all the way through, especially a mixed martial arts career. So getting that loss, I feel like, has leveled him up. We saw him go out there against Gastelum, get every takedown, eventually finish him. And then Gilbert Burns put on a dominant performance. Got to see him go 5 rounds for the first time being a main event. It feels like he's leveling up his game, and this is the perfect moment for him to like really break through and be like, okay, yeah, he had that setback, but this guy is still a serious title challenger.
Couldn't agree more. And not just leveling up in terms of the skill set, but he has a lightness to him now that if you heard his interview after the Bilal Muhammad fight with Ariel, where he talked about the darkness that like kind of crept in and the pressure that he had heading into that fight, and just this like maintaining the O and having to be this prospect on the rise, and you can't suffer defeat, and him on the other side of that, overcoming that and realizing that there are so many more things in life. He just became a new father. Congratulations to Sean Brady and his wife as well. There's so much more. You can feel the weight just kind of lifted off his shoulders. He's no longer undefeated. He's no longer this like, oh my God, this undefeated prospect, we're going to push him to the moon. He's in a fight now. That's the biggest fight of his life. And he's no longer carrying that baggage. And all he has to do now is go out there and perform. It's a dangerous proposition because I think he's extremely skilled. And as we've kind of like talked about in the grappling, I don't know that there's many guys who have his combination of like the power in terms of the wrestling game plus the submission skills. Like, he's going to be a tough out for a lot of people, including the champion, Bilal Muhammad, who in the first fight, Bilal just beat the brakes off him. Like, that was a one-sided beatdown, as bad as it gets.
I think that fight was like the first one where I was really like, oh, Bilal, like,
yes,
he might actually win the title.
Yeah,
like, he might actually win the title.
Bilal ain't just like point fighting, just this guy that's going to be around just looking for
and then he followed that
decisions.
up with the Gilbert Burns performance, which obviously earned him a title shot. But that's when that Brady one where I was like, oh shit. And to get the finish too, like, obviously he's always called a decision machine, boring fighter, but like to get the finish like that on a guy like Sean Brady, it really was. And now that loss, he didn't look great in it, but it has aged well to see Bilal Muhammad become
That's a
champion.
great point. That's the other thing. Losing to Bilal Muhammad isn't like some stain on your career. Like, that dude is the champion of the world. And so, I think we're looking at it. I definitely feel like the momentum, right, is obviously on Sean Brady's side here, where it feels like he's on the up. He's the younger guy. He's the one who's coming in, and it feels like the potential is still ahead. Whereas Leon, it feels like he's a known quantity. Now that quantity is good enough to be championship level UFC welterweight champion. So knowing that quantity is a good quantity to know. Like he is as good as advertised, but it does feel like there's much more room for growth, and the ceiling on Sean Brady is still kind of like unknown. We still don't know what he could potentially be. This will be a fight where you learn what that potential could be. This is the biggest fight.
You mentioned he had the baby, a lot of pressure off. I saw like a little piece with him, and he had it like early February. I guess we didn't get the update. I guess,
we were waiting around.
Didn't want to shoot us a text like, "Hey man, I had the kid ready to do the cycle off, ready to do the bike race." He was just quiet, crickets.
I'm gonna say, as somebody who has had now didn't have. Let me be clear, my wife had them, but I was involved in the process. If I need to do a biology lesson, we could do that later.
I think we actually did the first episode of The Boys in the Back on the day your son was born.
It was the next day. It was.
Yeah, it was the next day. You had to get back to the hospital.
I had to go back to the hospital after to get my wife discharged. But yes, it was shortly after.
So Brady should have been in the day after spiking against.
I was gonna say give him grace because there's a lot going on. Maybe the text about the bike race isn't there. But to your point,
getting a call about London.
But you're right. I was there the next day, so maybe he has no excuse. We joke, but like certainly that can also be I talked about the pressure being off him, but it can also add some pressure, a different type of pressure. It's not that like I'm the undefeated stud that everybody's looking at, but like I have to provide for a new mouth. Like this child is now somebody I have to take care of and think about when I'm heading into that cage. That is a potential pressure. It seems like, and Ariel has asked this question because I feel like he's focused on this. He asked this question of a lot of new fathers and mothers when they're competing. And they often say that like it's inspirational. It gives them like a new motivation, not a pressure, but almost the opposite. Like it lifts them to a point that they feel like they can do anything because they know they have to and they're so motivated by that. But it is another factor to come into, like what was the sleep like in the lead up to this? Like how much was he changing diapers? Like all these things matter. Ultimately, I do think, and as you said, like short notice, but not like super short notice, I think we will get a really good version of Sean Brady. I don't think there will be any corners cut. I also think, as we had Sean Brady on a few months ago, even before any of this was happening, this was a fight he wanted. This was a fight he desperately wanted. He wanted Leon Edwards. Before JDM got it, he was like, this is the one I want. In London, I want to go there and play spoiler. And now he's got it. So biggest opportunity of his life on the heels of some major shakeups and things happening in his life. It's all there for him. All he has to do is beat Leon Edwards. Easier said than done.
Much easier said than done. Let's play what ifs on both sides. If Leon Edwards loses this fight, where does he go from here?
If Leon Edwards loses, he goes into a fight against like an Ian Gary, I think. I think he doesn't
Still only
fall.
33, but like now distance is being created between him and the title.
I don't think he falls too far down because his last loss would have been losing the belt and then losing to a guy who we all, I think, can say is like a big prospect in Sean Brady, who probably ultimately with a win is going to go on to fight for a title at some point. I would suspect that, you do like an Ian Gary fight, and that would make a lot of sense. And then if you can win that, you're right back in it. So I think he falls, but I don't think he falls too far. This division is kind of like, there's a lot of different names now. We're looking at the rankings here. Outside of Kamaru Usman, I love every single one of these fights for Leon Edwards, right? You look here, like, would you watch Shavkat versus Leon? Would you watch Jack Della versus Leon?
Right, like if Bilal retains the belt, like you could put him up against JDM. You have to think that Shavkat is going to be next for the winner of Bilal versus JDM.
We've seen him take a fight before, so it wouldn't shock me.
Leon versus Joaquin Buckley wouldn't be a bad shot either. The history between Leon and Gary is like,
that's the
prime.
one for me, but I'm open to any of those. And so Leon, unlike, I feel like Kamaru is feeling like it's like, you've got to be selective on what this next fight is going to be, right? You've really like got to pinpoint who you're going to fight. And then if you're going to make one more run at the title, I don't feel the same about Leon. I feel like there's a lot of freshness still, and there's potential matchups that can get him back there.
Usman's got miles on him as well.
That's the thing. He's been around.
We don't need to see Leon versus Usman.
No interest. Zero. We don't need to see that run back.
We've seen what? 12 and a half rounds of that already.
Yeah, we're good.
We don't need to see any more of that. Yeah, I really like the idea of Leon versus Gary if he does come up short this weekend. If he wins, though, do we think he's immediately calling for another title shot?
He'll call for it. He will not pass Shavkat.
No chance.
There's just no way.
I don't think so.
I mean, I guess there's a chance. Again,
Of course, there always is.
The schedule,
I don't
if
think so.
Shavkat for some reason is going to be sidelined for an extended period of time, you could do worse than Leon versus Bilal, I would say. And I know, like, I don't think of the champions, Bilal Muhammad has the most clout and ability to guide this as the UFC, within the UFC. But I don't think he wants to give Leon a rematch this quickly. And I say that because when he wanted a rematch with Leon really made him wait for it. And ultimately, it took forever for him to get it. And I think he remembers that. And I don't think he wants to rush Leon back into another title opportunity now that he's the one in that position and the champion. Again, I don't think Bilal Muhammad's like Alex Pereira or somebody else or Ilia Topuria or Islam who can really call their shot. But I don't think he's anxious to give Leon another shot.
Well, I was going to say, like, to the point of that, both Leon and Bilal had to wait and win a lot to get their title shots.
If anybody should know.
I'm not sure either of them are going to get an easy road back if Bilal eventually loses that belt, when Bilal eventually loses the belt.
Maybe.
It'll be tough to get another crack at it. All right, let's go to the flip side of it. If Sean Brady loses, it feels like it's pretty easy. You just get back on the horse and you keep trying to climb the rankings. You just take whoever they give you. Take a top 10 matchup.
What is Brady? How old is Brady?
It's 28, 29?
No, 32.
32?
So, yeah.
Looks
age.
young, man.
Well,
Guy's older than me. Looks like 3 years younger than me.
Yeah, I mean, look, now, does that make you feel better or worse
Makes
about
you
the
feel
bike?
better about the bike. Yeah.
But younger in the game. That's the thing. Like, he doesn't have the miles that a lot of these guys have.
Yeah, so MMA can just like warp your brain on age.
100%.
It can just warp your brain on age. These guys are 1 year apart, and I would have like guessed if you had had me guess, I would have been like, yeah, Leon's like 6 years older than him.
Yep, and he's 1 year.
It's crazy. So yeah, you get back on the horse. So I guess that's kind of the answer for Leon as well. If he wins, we think one more for a title.
Or you wait. He might even be able to wait for it. I think the thing with him and basically the welterweight, we were talking about it the same way with the Leon thing. It used to be like welterweight was Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards, Colby Covington, Gilbert Burns, Jorge Masvidal, and these guys were just doing a round robin over and over and over and over again, and it was impossible for any new names and faces to break through. Now I feel the opposite. Now I feel like you lose at the top of the welterweight division, you get back in there against any other contender, and now you kind of just like see where they all play out, and they can get back pretty quickly. So much like Leon, where I'm like, yeah, you fight like an Ian Gary and you're right back. Sean Brady, you fight like a JDM, or you fight whoever is the loser of that, and you get right back. Let's say JDM wins, and Bilal's now free. Maybe you do Bilal versus Leon. Maybe you do Bilal versus Sean Brady. There's lots of different permutations of this that I'm totally interested in. It feels like welterweight has some real new life now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, just beyond Shavkat, who could become
and Shavkat's just waiting there.
And to me, we had the discussion a couple of weeks ago when we talked about star power and everything, or was that last week?
That was last week.
Gosh, time feels like it's moving slow, but it's actually moving fast. I feel like Shavkat could be a massive star there. I feel like JDM with the boxing is on the rise. Brady, Buckley, Gary. There's fresh faces. Prochas down the way. Michael Morales down the way. It does feel like there's new life there. Right now, Sean Brady sitting at a minus 160. Leon Edwards plus 140. Before we get your prediction, there was Bilal Muhammad took to Twitter last night and gave his prediction on it.
Oh, perfect.
He said, this guy's full of excuses. That's why Brady will beat him. I predict once Brady gets him down 2 or 3 times, he'll find a submission because Leon's weak mentally and he'll have flashbacks from what I did to him. It's interesting that he says that because he beat Leon by decision, finished Brady, but he has the confidence in Brady.
He doesn't like Leon Edwards.
Yeah,
he just does not like Leon Edwards. And I understand it. As I said, when Leon was the champion and it seemed like Bilal was a natural fit for a title shot, he made him wait. He did not want to do that fight. He was talking about any fight other than Bilal Muhammad. So if you're Bilal, and Bilal felt like he was done wrong in that first one. I know people talk about that first fight like it was like some like dominant performance by Leon Edwards. It was like 3 minutes of action and he poked him in the eye. It was not some like cruise to victory performance by Leon Edwards. I learned nothing from that fight other than Bilal Muhammad got really badly poked in the eye. So this idea that like the first fight was like Leon was going to beat him anyway. I really don't buy that. I've never bought that. I thought that was kind of silly that everybody was just like, hey, he's on his way to victory. It was like 1 3-minute stretch and an eye poke. And if you're Bilal, I understand why you'd feel some type of way that it took that long to get a title shot. Now, granted, I think it was a combination of both Leon not seeing Bilal as a big star, which is correct, and also the UFC not seeing Bilal as a big star and not wanting to grant him that shot. But either way, I understand why he feels hard done, and I understand why he doesn't like Leon for that reason. As you said, if anybody would have known how long it took to get to a title shot and have sympathy for that plight, it's Leon Edwards.
Yes.
And he had no sympathy for it. Bilal earned it, and he was just like, nah, I'm not interested in Bilal. So I get why Bilal would feel that type of way, and now he's the one in the driver's seat with the championship. But he just doesn't like him. I don't agree. I agree with the first part, which is like, I think Leon will be taken down, and I think he will get frustrated. Now, is Leon like going to have flashbacks to Bilal Muhammad dominating him, and is he a quitter and this and whatever other thing he said? That's the part where I check back out. But I do ultimately think
I just love the idea of like, come Saturday night, we see Brady like take him down, and we see like Leon trying to like scoot over to the fence, and he's like kind of breathing heavy. We're halfway through the 4th round, and like Brady's gotten a few takedowns. Now he gets another one in the 4th, and like he's kind of leaned back up, and he sort of has a 10,000-yard gaze, and like it's just like the war scene, just like and it's just like fade in him and Bilal Muhammad fighting. And he's just having flashbacks of Bilal. Like that's how Bilal crafted that one up.
Bilal in his mind pictured it that way. But I the first part I do ultimately agree with. Like when I think about this fight, I think Brady's going to be able to keep it close enough on the feet, and when it does get into a grappling position, I think he's going to be able to be pretty effective there and downright dominant, like to the point that he could finish Leon Edwards. I don't think that's out of the question at all.
I am very excited to see what we get out of Brady, because if he comes out here and wins and he makes it look impressive, it's just like, man, he has really bounced back.
He's not jumping
He
Shavkat.
continues to level up. Yeah, I don't think he's jumping Shavkat at all. Like the performances Shavkat is putting on, the star power that Shavkat has, the ability to become the first champion from Kazakhstan. He has earned the title shot and then some. He got the title shot, lost the title shot.
Put it on the line.
Put it on the line against Ian Gary, won that fight. Like, dude is getting the title shot. There's no argument there. But it just breathes more and more life into the welterweight division.
He's not a bad 1B. Like, he is not a bad backup option if for some reason Shavkat can't go. If you can go out there and really put it on Leon Edwards, I'm hyped for a Sean Brady title shot. That makes all the sense in the world to me. Much like I was saying, like, you know, I didn't take much from that first Leon Edwards fight. I am kind of willing to excuse away, and maybe this is me being naive. I am willing to excuse away the Sean Brady loss to Bilal Muhammad, because it looked like he was terrified. It looked like he didn't want to be there. It looked like all the pressure was mounting up, and I'd be interested to see what a new version looks like, especially if he comes away with a impressive performance against Leon Edwards.
Yeah, and I can't remember if it was after the Bilal fight or not, when he was having so much trouble on Twitter and people were like sending him death threats.
It was
his wife death threats. He's deleted his Twitter since. Hopefully he's found mental clarity from that. So yeah, I mean,
he busted all their parlays, and they were like telling this guy that they're going to put him in the dirt, and his wife.
Yeah, you said you're excited about a potential, like title challenge from Sean Brady. Me too, because then I can be like, oh yeah, I beat a UFC title challenger's ass on the Avalon Bike Challenge. It'll be great. Big Duck Brady out there going out there this weekend. I've been seeing it circling. It's been on a bunch of the big like aggregator accounts and everything like this. I never really buy into this, but the picture of Leon Edwards training and like who knows when it's from. He's wearing the blue
he's
shirt.
got a spot.
He's got like a spot like on his elbow, and everyone's like,
I haven't seen this.
Confirmed. Leon Edwards has staff. Like you're far away. You're far away, but on his right elbow, the one he's turned to, it's like
like in the middle of the elbow.
Yeah, see, that's how little it looks like when you don't put the giant red circle around it and then have a tweet in all caps that says Leon Edwards confirmed staff. Like it could be something. Like remember Marab?
Yeah.
It could be something, but like I can't calculate
it could be
that into
something.
the
It
fight.
could also just be the red circle of doom of just like somebody getting on Photoshop and the yellow text of the salaries, like
or
just
like something in the past, or like I don't know,
or
I don't
he elbowed
buy too
something and
much
it
into it.
broke open. You know,
Yeah,
like there's a
he could've
million
cut
things.
himself open. Yeah, I don't know. I never really buy too much into that until it's been like confirmed or the fighter himself.
We'll
has
never
come out and
hear
said
it until after the fight if it was that. But Leon might say something after if it was. But either way, like I'm not anticipating that. I'm anticipating a Leon Edwards who is strong on the takedown defense and really trying to keep it standing. And at range, he's going to be able to. I think he's a fantastic striker. I think he's going to be able to have a lot of success against Sean Brady. Once Sean Brady closes the distance, that's where the fight really begins, right? If Sean Brady can get inside Leon Edwards and inside the range of those kicks and really pressure him, that's where we have a fight. Because if Leon can't stop that, I think Brady's going to be very successful.
Is that the official prediction?
I think Brady. I'm leaning Brady. I think the pressure and the grappling is going to be too much.
The enemy of my friend is my enemy.
Yeah,
The friend of my enemy.
It's
is
supposed
my
to be
friend?
the enemy of the friend of my enemy.
I'm trying to do
enemy.
something here, but I don't think it calculates out. My enemy.
Is your friend in this scenario?
Yeah, I'm picking Sean
You're
Brady.
picking
I'm
Sean
going to
Brady.
back the man. I'm going to back the man just so the name's that much bigger when I take him out on the bike.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he will have success with the takedowns. I think it'll be close. I think both guys will have success throughout the fight, but I'm going to go with Brady getting the takedowns. 49-46, 48-47, 48-47. There it is.
Yeah, and by the way, like you don't have to rewind too far. Go back to when everybody thought that Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards was just going to be like takedown, ground and pound him, take him out. Now, first fight, it seemed like it was going that way, right? Like Kamaru Usman was having a lot of success and like really keeping him frustrated, and Leon didn't have the answer until he had that one of the best answers of all time. In the second fight, the range management, the footwork, he was able to avoid everything, and he
One of
just
the best
completely
versions of
picked them
Leon
apart.
Edwards we've seen.
If that version shows up, I wouldn't be surprised to see Brady really have some struggles in terms of tracking him down and being able to take him down.
It'd be a great fight if
that is the fight I want to see. Is that best version of Leon and the version of Sean Brady that's just bulldozing forward and trying to get inside there. So
it could really
I think
line
it
up
could
to
be
be
great.
a fantastic fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't see the Leon of. Hopefully we don't see both guys Bilals.
yeah. Well, no,
Brady
Leon against Bilal looked fine. It was just that the eye poke did some real damage.
Leon versus Bilal, Brady versus Bilal. Those are the guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go Brady, and I think it'll be a great fight. It'll be great.
I'm excited about it. I think we're either going to know Sean Brady's ready for the big time, and Leon Edwards is going to have to take a step back now, like not immediately hopping back into title conversations, or too much too soon for Brady. Take a little time back. Maybe he never gets to that point. I would predict he does, but maybe he doesn't. And Leon Edwards right back in the mix. Either outcome, I think, is exciting for the division.
All right, let's go to co-main. Jan Blachowicz taking on Carlos Ulberg. First time we've seen Jan since July of 2023. Took on Alex Pereira at UFC 291. Lost. Very, very close decision. A lot of people scored that one for Jan. Taking on Carlos Ulberg. Very interesting matchup here. Jan just turned 42, coming off some shoulder injuries.
Carlos Ulberg's 41.
41?
I'm just
I
kidding.
was about to say 34, right?
Doing what we did with the Brady thing,
Yeah.
where it's just like he's only 1 year younger.
It's like, man, it feels like Jan's like 10 years older than him. It's like, no, Carlos Ulberg's actually 41 as well. Like Ulberg is, like, everyone calls him a prospect. Like, he's just a potential title challenger in the light heavyweight division, but he is 34. Like, he isn't
It's
a
the
strike himself.
These days, it's about the miles and
Yeah.
not the age so much.
Yeah. Had a kickboxing career before this, obviously. I liked what I saw from Ulberg going the full 15 with Volkan. Was able to stuff the takedowns later. That was a nice step up in competition for him. Now this is another step up to see where he's really at. I think that Jan is going to come in. I think he's going to have to go for the takedowns. I think Ulberg's going to have a speed advantage. I think he's going to have a power advantage too. I know it's the legendary Polish power. in 20 UFC fights, Jan only has 5 knockouts. In 8, Ulberg has 4.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you look at the whole lineage of Jan's career, 9 KOs, 9 submissions, and then 11 wins by decision. He's actually like a great submission artist as well, and like he does win a lot of decisions. So I think Ulberg's going to have the power and the speed. So I think it'll just be the striking. It's just like can he get the takedowns? And like, what is Olberg going to look like if Jan is able to get the takedowns?
Yeah, and I think the game plan against Olberg is going to have to be similar to the game plan against Magomed Ankalaev, which is like you want to take out the leg, you want to really get on that lead leg and make sure that it gets compromised nice and early, so that Olberg's power is compromised and that's weakened, and by the time he's throwing those bombs at you that he's not able, and he's comfortable at the range, he's not able to put as much power on it, and maybe mix in those takedowns. I think that it's a simple game plan if you're Jan. You have to avoid the big shot, you have to compromise the leg, and you have to take him down. Easier said than done, because like that speed advantage I think is going to be the difference in the fight. Like I can't picture Olberg not being able to find home with how good his striking is look lately. You pointed to the Oezdemir fight. Like I rate Oezdemir higher than most. Like when he's on and his hands are flowing, like Oezdemir is one of the best guys in that division in terms of that. That's a nice name to have on your resume. Then you go back, like obviously level of competition is important to note here, but the knockouts, the power that Carlos Olberg carries, that combination of speed and power, I think is going to be pretty damning for Jan.
Jan is tough, man. He is tough as hell. Like I think he's only been knocked out twice in his career, once in the UFC, and it's been like 6 years. The Thiago Santos one. So like Olberg is capable of it, but I feel better about his chances after watching him go the full 15 with Oezdemir, a guy at that level. So yeah, I love Jan. Like I'm a big fan of Jan.
Awesome.
Like he's just a man. How can you not love him? But at the age, the layoff, the injuries, going against, you can say like, oh, he's not a prospect. He's 34 years old. Well, he's 8 years younger than Jan Blachowicz, and like, that's a gap of 34 to 42. A lot is changing in your body. Like you are really starting to feel the effects of your age coming on with that gap.
We're also looking at 40 MMA fights versus 12.
Yeah.
That's a lot of miles on Jan.
Miles matter. I just feel like if Jan's going to win this fight, it's going to be heavy on the takedowns, and then when he gets the takedowns, he's heavy from there. Maybe a submission. Like maybe he is able to get the takedowns, and he just is such a superior grappler to Olberg, and he's able to feel out a submission. But man, I feel like if this thing stays standing for 15 minutes, Olberg is going to have the advantage.
Have we seen anybody really try to test Olberg's takedowns? It's not coming to mind at the moment.
We saw it in. I mean, obviously not the last couple of fights before Volkan. Volkan went for a couple takedowns in the later rounds, and then the ones before that were like a combined like 30 seconds. I want to say the Daun Jung one, he got taken down a couple times. I mean, I know Nikolai or Potiera didn't. I mean, all of his fights, like up until then, the Fabio Charant fight was like essentially like a staring contest. The Kennedy fight, he just blew his load. Yeah, I mean. It's gonna be like he has like I wrote it down somewhere. He has like a 70% takedown defense.
Yeah, I don't know enough about his takedown game, his takedown defense game.
He's going against a guy that can execute it.
He's going, and we saw it, right? Like we've seen it in even in his last couple of performances. But I just wonder if Jan's going to be able to close the distance and avoid these shots. The speed is going to be so obvious, right? Like. Later in the fight, maybe when Olberg's potentially a little bit more tired, that speed might level out. But that first 5 minutes, that first 7 minutes, it's gonna be real dangerous for Jan, and that speed is gonna be on full display. I just can't. I don't see it going long enough. I don't see it going late enough that Jan's gonna be able to implement this game plan. But if he's able to get on that leg and really compromise Olberg early, maybe I think he has a chance. But the age, the speed, the layoff, I can't. I every time I picture it, I see Olberg winning.
It's 83% takedown defense for Olberg, but like you said, it hasn't really been tested. We'll see
who's shooting on those takedowns.
We're gonna see on Saturday night when he takes on Jan Blachowicz. I kind of feel the same way. I just feel like the age, the time off, the injuries, and everything like that, going against a young, fast dude with a lot of power, good striking, it'll end up being Olberg.
Olberg only seems to be getting better. And Olberg also trains at City Kickboxing, and you have to imagine a guy like an Israel Adesanya is somebody good to train with if your game plan is, I need to stay at range and strike, and you can't take me down. Like that's a pretty good person to try to learn from to execute that type of game plan.
Izzy also fought him.
Yeah. Izzy has experience.
Like, man, I feel like I know what the game plan is going to be here.
In that fight, Jan did get the takedowns.
Yeah.
So maybe that is the path to victory. Now, that was some time ago.
4 years younger.
I was about to say, that's some time ago, and so it might have been easier at that time.
4 years younger against a guy going up a weight class.
Yeah.
Whereas Olberg is a 205er.
Oh yeah. I will say this: the physicality of Israel Adesanya and Carlos Ulberg is not equal. They are not the same size. They are not the same build. Jan would have a tougher time with a guy like Ulberg if his takedown defense.
This is the one, boys. Ladies' night.
Ladies'
when
night.
You invite the girls over, henge date. Let's watch some UFC fights.
And then it's like, why is that other guy just laying on top of him? Jan's just laying on top of him.
It's just like so boring.
But I think ultimately Ulberg's gonna find the mark. Can he? Jan is so tough, man. Is he gonna finish him? Is a real interesting question. I think he's gonna crack him. Whether he finishes him, I'm not sure. Probably at this point, I'm leaning yes, but I think he's gonna crack him a few good times, regardless of if he finishes or not.
And bro, similar to Brady. Ulberg's sitting at 6 right now, Jan at 3. Like, it's a very intriguing matchup because if Ulberg wins, then it's just like, man,
there's not a lot of names.
You got a new guy at 205. Like, you got Alex Pereira for the rematch. You got Yuri, and then it'd be Ulberg after that. Like, it feels like Jamal still needs another win. You got Khalil Roundtree coming off a loss. Alexander Rakic, where's he's at? Like, a win here would do a ton for Ulberg's career and a ton for his chances of getting a shot. It's very intriguing. Let's go to another intriguing matchup. Kevin Holland taking on Gunnar Nelson. Every time Kevin Holland fights, you see the clip. I watched it this morning with you right by me, the Dana White, no one would take the fight. I said, hey, call Big Mouth to call up Kevin Holland. On the flip side of that, you have UFC London. They must just have a phone somewhere in the war room that's just like the tiny Icelandic phone. It just goes directly to Gunnar Nelson's gym. It's like, oh, we got a UFC London coming up. Dial up old Gunnar. His last 5 fights are UFC London, including this weekend, UFC London, UFC Denmark, UFC London. He has 5 fights in the last 6 years, and they are almost always there. You dial him up. Oh, he didn't fight last year at 304? Yeah, it's because that one was in Manchester. He just does the London ones. From a matchup standpoint, the path is there, man. The roadmap is written for Gunnar Nelson. Like it's what he's gonna do. He said it in the interview with Helwani this week. Like it's just like get the takedown, start fishing for submissions, and if you can't get the submission, just rack up points, win the round, and move on to the next one. It's just right there for him. We've seen Kevin Holland struggle with grapplers. If that's how Gunnar Nelson is going to win, I think that's the only path.
Heading into the RDR fight, the Kevin Holland versus RDR fight, I was thinking to myself, okay, against top control American wrestlers, right? That's where Kevin Holland struggles. He's going to struggle against a guy like that. They're going to take him down. They're going to control him, and he's not going to have opportunities to kind of hunt for a submission or keep them off his legs. But against a guy like De Ridder, who's more of a BJJ guy, not like a primary top control double leg shooting wrestler, maybe he has a chance because in the scrambles he can do this and that and this. And then we saw RDR just take him down and have his way with him. And it made me less confident in his chances against Gunnar here. Like it really showed me there is some major holes in Kevin Holland's takedown defense, and there are some major holes in his bottom grappling game. In the past, he's shown the ability to kind of hunt for submissions. Even against RDR, if I recall correctly, he was throwing up some stuff and he was trying to like really get the submission. He needs to get off the bottom. If he gets taken down, spend 0 time trying to do jiu-jitsu. Get off the bottom, get the fight back to your feet, because you have a huge advantage here. Like against almost everybody, like a lot of guys don't want to really strike with Kevin Holland because he's pretty damn good there. But I have concerns about his ability to do that. Like if Gunnar is able to get him down, I think it's curtains basically, because he is that good on the ground and he's such a good submission artist.
You mentioned from the bottom.
Yeah.
Since the Jacare Souza win, where he essentially fought back from bottom and then ends up getting the finish, and he was just like flying high. I think it was huge 5 wins that year. Massive moment. Since then, he's 5-8 with no contest. The one against Dawkins where he actually got choked out and kind of got lucked his way out into a no contest there. So I just like don't know what to expect from him anymore. This will be his 5th fight since March 9th of last year. So like 378 days, almost a full calendar year. This will be his 5th fight. He's 1-3 in the first 4. Like, is he making improvements? Is he, getting back in the gym, fixing things, making improvements from fight to fight? Or like he told the reporter this week, like, I'll fight anybody, that's how I get paid. Like, is it just like, yeah, man? I think earlier this year, before the RDR fight, he was like, I'm gonna fight 6 times this year. And like he's on the path to that. This is his 20th fight since 2020. Like he has the most fights by far. Like he is unbelievably active. But now that he's not winning as much, is that the best thing to do for his career?
Kevin Holland treats his bout agreements like Merab Dvalishvili treats takedowns.
It's just like,
It's all volume.
It's all volume.
I don't care if I get this or not. If I get it, it might look pretty spectacular. It'll be pretty great. If I don't, guess what? There's another one right around the corner. We're just doing it one more time right after this. He just doesn't. It would be naive to think that he doesn't go to the gym and go, okay, I lost this way. I need to work on this.
Of course.
But I don't know if he is who he is. Kevin Holland just is who he is. He is exactly who he is, and he's going to be exciting if you stand with him. If you take him down, you're going to have a real opportunity to win. Sometimes he's also able to pull off some pretty spectacular grappling. His submission game is pretty strong, even though like we haven't seen it lately. I don't know. I don't think there is like an improvement in that sense. I think it's more of just like he's a game fighter who's going to sign on the dotted line, who's going to show up, and he's going to try to take people's heads off. And if he can't, then he probably loses.
I mean, it's just like two months since his last fight.
Yeah.
3 months since the one before that. 4 months since the one before that. 2.5 months since the one before that. He did take a 6-month break between JDM and MVP. And then it's just like 3 months, 2 months, 4 months. Like he has just been every single time. Like
his entire UFC career is this. Just call Big Mouth.
And then on the flip side of that, you got Gunnar Nelson, who's just like, yeah, I train and I coach. And, you know, if they call me up, yeah, I'll take an extra paycheck and get in there.
Do you think that will play? Like, how much do you think the fact that Kevin Holland, win or lose, has been the most active fighter in UFC history to this point? Like, just the pace that he's putting on is insane versus Gunnar Nelson, who might be the least active fighter in UFC history.
I just don't know if it matters because Gunnar is always training. Like, he's always training. He's always coaching. He runs the gym up there in Iceland. Like, he's staying active. And honestly, like, with his fighting style, like, he I don't know how much he needs to fight. Like, he's just going to try and take you down. He's not really going to have a ton of success on the feet, and he's going to try and submit you.
Can he get Kevin Holland down easily? I
don't know. That's what we're going to find out. I think he will get a takedown or two
and finish.
And I think once he gets down there, I don't know. It could be like the Takashi Sato fight that we saw a couple years ago, but then it's just like level of competition comes into play, and it's like, man, Kevin Holland is not Takashi Sato. Like he ranks higher than that for sure. So it's just like if he does get him down, and like Kevin Holland has good finishing capabilities, and like he's long and he's rangy, and like he can get knockouts. So it's a fascinating fight to me. I really like Gunnar a lot. Like there's just something about this stoic dude that says two words, and like the fact that he reps Ireland and he's got this. I mean, the fact that he reps Iceland and Ireland as well, and he just is like ducked off at this sick gym up in the Scandinavian countries. Like there's just something appealing about that to me. So yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen, but I think if I had to guess, I would say Gunnar does get a takedown and has success with it.
I'm just an idiot. I think Kevin Holland.
You're calling Big Mouth, yeah.
I'm an idiot. I am an idiot, and I admit it. Like, somebody will clip that out. But I am an idiot. I believe that Kevin Holland can stop a takedown once in a while. I believe that Kevin Holland can do enough on the feet to not have somebody take him down. I believe he can get up. I've never seen it.
I don't think you're an idiot. I think he fights so often that it's just like you forget the losses and you remember the wins. It's just like he.
What am I doing?
I see a few people saying this week like it's just like Gunnar Nelson is not good. He never fights. Everything like that. This is going to be a y'all must have forgot moment for Kevin Holland.
Gunnar Nelson never fights. Gunnar Nelson is not good. I don't know if I'm willing to go there.
I've seen a couple tweets calling him a can this week.
Oh, Jesus
I'm like, what
Christ,
is this?
people.
What is this? I've seen several tweets being like, Kevin Holland, y'all must have forgot moment. It's like, I didn't forget anything. He fights every few months. I never forget Kevin Holland.
You can never forget
He's always
Kevin
in there. You can never forget him. I know that he's good. Like, I know that he can do things.
Remember the name? Kevin Holland is, you cannot forget my name. It is impossible.
Kevin Holland can win fights, and he can also lose fights.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's almost always exciting. It's a good time. He's going to talk some shit. He's going to, like, be enthusiastic. Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch because I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm dumb, and I think Kevin Holland's going to win.
I guess
and I'm an idiot.
I guess the thing for me that just trips me up so much is just the path for Gunnar Nelson.
Yeah.
It's just so there.
It is the most obvious path to victory, right? Well, I guess there's an obvious path to victory for Kevin Holland too, which is
stuff to take down
and punch him in the face. Yeah. But to do that many times is much harder than for Gunnar Nelson to get one takedown and one submission. But I don't know. I'm dumb. I think Kevin Holland, but I'm an idiot.
What do we know? I'll go Gunnar Nelson.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it rolling on the main card. Jordan Vucenic taking on Chris Duncan. You know what? I'm sorry, Jordan. Can we run back the lower third back to the Kevin Holland? I did want to show one tweet from Kevin Holland.
Okay.
I actually forgot about this. Where we keep saying how dumb we are and everything like that. How's he going to come out? He did take to Twitter and he said, "For the ones that support, much love. To the ones that hate, it's still much love this way. But I owe you all a W, and I plan on delivering." So who knows? Yeah.
Maybe he's been in the lab. He's been in the lab.
Yeah, maybe he has. The last 2 months he's been in the lab.
He's not in the lab very long because he's always in the cage.
Doesn't take long to make improvements in your big mouth.
Oh, jeez.
So we'll see. All right, I just mentioned it though. Jordan Vucenic taking on Chris Duncan, former Cage Warriors champ. He has had some fantastic fights in that promotion, despite not having more UFC experience than Chris Duncan. I think he just has more experience against higher level fighters.
Yep.
It's been going around this week. He has a tattoo of Bruce Buffer on his thigh. And it's like Bruce Buffer screaming into the microphone. And it says Corby on the side of his thigh. And he basically broke it down how like his whole life, he's like, I'm going to be in the UFC. And one day you're going to hear Bruce Buffer say,
"This is truly the moment I have been waiting for."
Well done, Frankie.
Fighting out of Corby, England. And like he told all his friends that, and they were all like, "Yeah, you're full of shit. That's never going to happen, bro." So when it finally happened, you can see it like in the video. He's like smiling. He's got a smirk on his face. So he got it. The tat on his thigh.
Did he have that for the last fight, or is this?
I think this is new for this one, unless I'm mistaken. But it doesn't really.
Okay.
It doesn't really like. It's not too jarring because he is tatted from head to toe.
Yeah.
So
he is very tatted up.
It's nothing crazy. But yeah, I mean, this should be a fantastic fight, dude. I mean, Chris Duncan comes out and just brawls. Like he's down to take some, to give some, which I don't know if that's going to work out too well here. But like he is down for a brawl, and so is Vucenic, and he's tough as nails. He actually fought in Cage Warriors. He fought Paul Hughes, won by split, and then rematched him, and Paul Hughes got it done. Vucenic never been finished. I think we have the picture here. Like he got beat up bad, man, but he hung in there tough. Like
yeah,
that is a beatdown, but he is tough as hell. I actually think the durability is going to be the biggest factor for him in this one.
Yeah, he's somebody who I'd been hearing about for a while because everybody in the UK scene was like, "Yo, this is the guy. He's the next Cage Warriors guy that's going to be coming to the UFC." And then obviously like UFC debut against Guram, that's like tough sledding. Like that's not the easiest one.
Easiest night at the office.
That's not the easiest one to step in on. But got his look. If you're the guy who's been dreaming about fighting in the UFC to the point that you have Bruce Buffer tattooed on your thigh, you take that opportunity. You take your lumps, and now you have a real opportunity to like reset that level. Chris Duncan, not the same level as Guram in my estimation, and so we're really going to see if he can be that next guy.
This is a much more favorable matchup.
But a favorable.
He's a
matchup.
minus 450. I think the durability will be good. I think he's going to be able to outstrike him. I think he's going to be able to land a lot. He's got nasty grappling. He's got good submissions. This feels like a moment where home country, he gets a dub. It'll be a great moment. People obviously already know him there from his success in Cage Warriors. So I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be a great fight, and I think it could potentially produce a great moment as well. Obviously, a dude insanely passionate about the game if you get your entire thigh taken up by Bruce Buffer.
Duncan, I remember his fight against Charlie Campbell on Contender Series because that was just like an all-time banger scrap. But now he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is his 5th UFC fight after that. Like, dude's got some experience now in the UFC.
He's moving.
Yeah, to the point that, like,
in 2 years,
is facing a guy who's had a lot of octagon time.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see if that's like an equalizer of sorts. But based on just like the as you said, the level of competition that he faced even before he got to the UFC. We're talking 2 scraps with Hughes. He has a fight against Morgan Charrier.
Yeah.
Like the dude's fought top level competition even before arriving in the UFC. I don't know if that's going to be the difference, and then ultimately, like it feels like the skills are on his side.
Paul Hughes twice, Morgan Charrier and Garam is probably tougher than most
Exactly.
of the opponents.
Any of those UFC opponents, it's still higher
for sure.
level.
I think it's going to be incredibly exciting. It's funny we got both Vucenic and Charrier on this card.
Yeah.
Wish we had Paul Hughes on this card.
Shout out.
Wish we had Paul Hughes.
I wish we had Paul Hughes, period. Thankfully, we are getting him back.
Yes, fighting Bruno Miranda in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Should be a great one for him. But yeah, I can't wait for this one. I think Vucenic gets it done, and it should be really fun to watch. Another very intriguing one, Nathaniel Wood taking on Morgan Charrier,
Oh, I love that. He did that
Frenchman.
well.
Something about these French fighters, dude. They got the swag. They got the promotion. They got the panache that you want to see with these fighters. We got to run it. The last pirate hype video from Morgan Charrier. I don't know if we can play the audio because
we'll play it with no audio.
Yeah, I think there was music on it.
I think Buffer's in it too. I think he intros him, but
yeah, I mean it's sick. The last pirate army is taking over at UFC London. Like this is
First
like
of
a
all,
high
look at the
level
quality.
production. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like this is a high level production. Like
Holy
he's got the
shit.
look, he's got the clothing company. He obviously has exciting fights. Like this is the type of dude that you want coming into your promotion.
he does a little head nod, rallying the troops. We got dudes showing up with
the
bats.
baseball bats. They all also nice touch. They're all wearing his clothing company Outsider.
All black. Got the black pirate flag in the
Black
background.
pirate flag, the French flag, and then it looks like that's the last pirate flag. The white one
God.
is like him with the face
Look
mask.
at this.
You got everyone fired up. And like he said, he's like, I'm a pirate. I love to go into enemy territory. Like he'll be getting cheered against. Nathaniel Wood, obviously an Englishman. I mean, it's just like this is an unranked featherweight, and he's just like, oh yeah, here's my promo video. Like we got the slow mo with the screaming people, and you got the
smoke.
Yeah, with the colored smoke. It's
Dude.
great, man. It is.
Didn't
great.
even have to say anything. What a fucking promo. I mean, the moment I saw this, I was like, holy shit! Like this dude's coming for war.
Yeah, dude.
Legit.
Yeah, it's like he's either got friends or a production company or someone behind him because the promos for his clothing company are sick too. But yeah, man, he is very exciting. If he can continue to rise, like he will definitely be one to watch. He has that star factor, and if he can get the country of France behind him, we know how diehard those fans are, how passionate they are for MMA. They obviously went crazy for him when he got a win in Paris. So it's gonna be great. But when it comes down to the fight, man, I actually I kind of favor Nathaniel Wood despite him being the underdog. I think he's got the better striking. He's got much higher volume. Like if he can thwart the takedowns here, the thing is, if Charrier doesn't get a finish, he fights insanely close. 10 losses on his record. 10 losses.
Okay.
Half of them have been by split or majority decisions. He also has a draw, and then 4 of his 5 decision wins are split or majority decision wins. So he has 9 split or majority fights on his resume and a draw. And I think he only has 30 fights in total. So a third of his fights are ending by split or majority decision.
I hear you.
Englishman in London?
I'm going with the last pirate, and I'll tell you why. Nathaniel Wood, you said striking advantage. Maybe, probably, okay.
I'm really just speaking from like an output and volume. I'm speaking from the standpoint of Charrier not getting a finish.
And that's where I ultimately feel the fight is going to change. And that's because Nathaniel Wood doesn't have the finishing ability. He is going to allow you to be in that fight for the full 15 minutes. And I think Charrier is going to be able to find something in that 15 minutes, ultimately.
Morgan can also get takedowns, too.
And if he gets the takedowns, then it's his world. But I feel like he's going to be able to find a finish in this fight. Wood, man, the game plan is always the same. Like, just stick to that really crisp boxing, stay on the outside, pepper the face. You don't need to do more because he's so good at it. But I think we're going to find a finish in this fight, and I think it'll be on the side of the last pirate.
It's going to be great. If he gets a finish, he's going to get on the mic, and he's going to try and cut a promo in front of that English crowd. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, the heel. If he leans fully into it as like a heel, it'd be tremendous. But if he gets a finish, I think he'll be able to win over the crowd too. Yeah. I think they'll be respectful of what he's able to accomplish.
One other one on the main card that I wanted to talk about: Molly McCann, Alexia Thinera. Molly McCann getting the UFC debutante this late in her career, but still getting a main card slot on UFC London. Honestly, like just at a quick glance, like. girl making her debut. It's not the highest level of women's MMA. You're in Molly McCann's home country. The crowd is going to be heavy on her side in a fight that almost certainly goes to a decision.
What are we talking about? Pressure here? We're talking about like the nerves creeping in?
I think it's going to be a close fight. I think we're going to be in England. I think that's Molly's home country. I don't hate a dog shot on Molly McCann.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. I don't know. I don't know enough about Alexia. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she's making her UFC debut. We've only seen Contender.
We have the Contender Series performance, but like that is to your point, like that's a real welcome to the big show moment. You know, like Molly McCann for a while there, her and Patty Pimblett were like the star attraction on these cards. It was like them at the top of this thing. And so, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on her shoulders, especially to be, what is she, like a 2-1 favorite?
Yeah. Like
2-1, to be a 2-1 favorite against Molly in enemy territory. That's a lot. I wouldn't blame anybody for feeling like, yeah, Molly's going to have all the advantages in the world when it comes to that. And maybe the pressure just tends to be too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Molly.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Molly gets it done. Let's keep it rolling. Jai Herbert taking on Chris Padilla. Taco. This one is intriguing just from the standpoint that Padilla is on a 5-fight win streak and all 5 of them are via finish. And like how he's come since, like, once he started this and he became champion in UNF and then punched his ticket to the UFC. Now he's 2-0 here. Before that, he had lost 4 of his last 5 in like Celtic Gladiator, CES 49. He got a shot on Bellator, but he lost in the first round against Gabe Green. Like, he was really down bad at one point. He was 10-6, young in his career, but 10-6, lost 4 of his last 5, goes to UNF, rallies off 3 there, and then goes to the UFC, and now he's potentially going to get 3 straight wins in the UFC.
Not only that, but the entry into the UFC was a short notice against Yontop,
where he is the toughest dude on earth.
The toughest SOB on the planet, and he finished him. But not only that, Yontop was minus 450 in that fight when he was like, this was not supposed to happen for Taco this way.
And he was a plus 200 against Rongju, and he got a finish there as well.
His run has just been like beating the odds every single time. I could see it happening again. I like Padilla here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. I think if it's similar to the Wood fight. I think if he doesn't get a finish, like Jai Herbert can stay at range, he can outstrike him.
Like most people don't have that guy's range. He is long.
Yeah, he is long as hell, and like only guy to drop Ilya Taporia. Like he's got some. Obviously, it didn't end up well for him, but like he is a good, competent striker. I think it's just going to be a great fight. It's coin flip on the odds for a reason. I think it's going to be very exciting.
Maybe it's just me like trying to will another Taco win into existence, but just like the dude is incredible and the run has just been insane.
Hair's great, nickname's great,
tough as hell,
finishing
just zero. Yeah,
obviously has the finishing
zero
capability.
Quit. I think that's going to be a great fight.
Honestly, these like last 8, like the whole card is just it's pretty
good
going, man. Yeah. I am really looking forward to this one. Loner Kavanaugh taking on Felipe dos Santos. I just feel like this is going to be another exciting fight as well. Kavanaugh, another Cage Warriors alum. Interesting note: Loner Kavanaugh 8-0.
Okay.
In 2025, undefeated fighters in the UFC are 9-17.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
What a stat! Where'd you pull that from?
That's actually according to Finn's Chat MMA on Twitter, who's he is very big into betting and analytics and stats and everything like that. So shout out to Finn's. But yeah, 9-17 in the UFC in 2025, and we got Loner Kavanaugh who's 8-0 and Mick Parkin who is 10-0, both going on this card.
That is something to watch. I was not aware of that stat. I guess it speaks to once we are seeing more and more young prospects make it to the UFC. And then kind of have to try to go on a run. And maybe it's just speaking to that learning curve of when you do ultimately get to the UFC, what that looks like. But I mean, he's got one under his belt. But yeah, that's tasty. That's a good stat. Who had that?
Finn's Chat MMA.
Shout out to Finn's Chat, blowing my mind on that.
I actually believe I met him at BKFC, if I'm not mistaken.
Holy shit! All right,
so shout out to him.
Shout out
Finn's Chat's MMA. Yeah, after UFC Vegas 104, which was last weekend, undefeated fighters in 2025 are now 9-17. There are 2 undefeated fighters fighting at UFC London. Mick Parkin 10-0, minus 110 pick'em against Marcin Tybura. Loner Kavanaugh 8-0, minus 350 against Felipe dos Santos.
Great
You can
find
follow
there.
him at Fins_the. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And then we go to the Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin
yeah.
fight. You got to love big Mick Parkin. Trains with Tom Aspinall. Good friend of his. You know, skilled. Not the most exciting heavyweight, but like he's a skilled guy. He's going to be fighting in front of his home crowd. I think there's going to be a big pop for him. And like on the flip side of that, Tybura is a nice step up in competition for him. Like we're not deep at heavyweight, but now we're starting to get into the rankings for Mick Parkin. It's going to be interesting. Can we talk about how crazy it is? Like the last time there was a fight night in London, Marcin Tybura was headlining it. No, against Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall?
July 2023. Tybura Aspinall.
Wow,
Am I
you're
not
right.
mistaken?
That is it. Yeah. Holy
Headlining
shit.
to Buried on the prelims, fighting Aspinall's training partner.
Unlike that night, I believe he will get a win.
Oh, you got Tybura over Parkin.
I'm thinking Tybura. A
A lot of pick'ems in this card.
There's a lot of pick'ems on this card. There really are. There's a lot of close ones. I think, yeah, he's one of those guys, and I'm sure I've said this on the show before. He just finds a way to stifle people. He's like the anti-offense guy who just finds a way to prevent you from doing your game, and then his game is just good enough. And I could see it happening here. So I'm going to lean Tybura on this one.
Parkin coming off of a finish win, but before that, 3 straight wins by decision.
Yeah.
Tybura has been win-loss, win-loss. He's actually fought 3 times since the July
Aspinall, yeah.
2023. Janota Denise and Taito Ivasa. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously faced the much tougher brand.
He faced everybody in
competition.
heavyweight. Yeah.
Like he's faced. If you're not a
Multiple
true UFC
times.
heavyweight if you haven't
That's
fought Marcin Tybura. I'm gonna go Mick. I'm gonna
All right.
support. I'm gonna
I like
support. I think we have the picture of him and Big Tom. Just yeah. Look at these guys. Look at these guys.
I don't know if Tom had enough time in there to give him any tips, against Tybura, but I imagine that they did a training camp together ahead of that fight, and probably there's some things you can use again there.
CLD Christian Leroy Duncan taking on Andre Pulayev. It's just like CLD taking on a newcomer. It feels like he probably gets this done in front of the home country fans. It should be a decent fight. I don't know a ton about Pulayev. I'm not going to feign knowledge here in this case.
Yeah, and no shame in a loss to RoboCop.
No, not at all.
To Greg Kopp, but yeah, I think this is the CLD show for this one.
Shauna Bannon, Pooja Tomar. Pooja Tomar, first Indian woman to ever record a victory in the UFC.
Shout out.
Now
Wait, is she the first Indian woman or first Indian fighter?
Did Anshul Jeebly get one? I feel like Anshul Jeebly got one.
It's been a tough go for India. Oh no, because what's our guy? Arjun Bhullar.
Arjun Bhullar?
Yeah, Canadian Indian, right?
Was he in the UFC?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Am I tripping? Who's the guy that was the champion and won?
Yeah, he was the champion in one.
Oh,
but
when he
came
fought
from
in
the
UFC? Yes.
Yeah, he's Canadian and Indian.
Did Jeebly win?
It doesn't matter. Either way, first woman.
First female
Indian
fighter.
woman.
Jubilee has a win. Jubilee has
There
a
you
win.
go.
Yeah, the Jekka Sergey fight. How could we forget? Yeah, that should be a good one. I mean, lower level MMA. Give me the dog, and let's keep the night rolling. Shauna Bannon. I'm sure there'll be a big pop for her. Kaylin Loughran taking on Nathan Fletcher. Fletcher's going to try to get it to the mat. If he doesn't, I think Loughran will win. It's just as easy as that. And then the curtain jerker, baby, which is actually the people's main event. It's my main event. Guram Kuta Taladze taking on Coway Fernandes. That's according to Bruce Buffer on the pronunciation there. Coway Fernandes. Guram is in insane shape, putting me to shame. Been tagged in the tweets of his physique several times. Look at him. I mean, come on. We're waiting for Brady to hop on the bike. Absolutely chiseled, head to toe. Guy is ready to go. Yeah, I think we saw Fernandes struggle with the takedowns against the Ikese. Feel like Guram, the plan's there. Get the takedowns, top pressure, lay on the ground and pound, and try and get it done.
That's always the game plan, and it's been pretty good.
It's always worrisome because Guram fights close, man. Fights close.
It's because of that style, right? They're always going to kind of be around, but he's very effective with it. Yeah, I just think he will be successful there.
And the the Brenner fight, like the gas tank didn't hold up. We
It looked good though early.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a finish yet in the UFC. I say we, me and Guram.
Same thing.
Same thing, but different. We have not gotten a finish yet in the UFC. So yeah, we'll see. Curtain jerker. I'm gonna have a lot riding on him. Because it's fate, man. It's fate that 1 year after I shaves my head bald, 1 year after we get a Guram Kutateladze fight.
On the anniversary?
Look at that. Look at that. Bald Burks era begins March 22nd, 2024.
Wow.
It's the 20th. They'll be fighting on the 22nd. 1 year later.
And this is the pick that Helwani always says looks like the dead ringer for Guram.
Yeah, that's when my beard was quite long. I grew it out to compensate for the baldness. I've learned since that I don't need to do that. So yeah, man. UFC London is a quality card. I'm very much looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Daytime action over here in the States. Start your day with an English breakfast. Get a couple of teas in you. It'll be a good day. Oh, what do we got, Frankie?
Hey, friends.
Oh,
How are you?
Really breaking news?
Know yourself.
What do we got?
Yes, know yourself. I don't mean to interrupt.
No, I want to hear.
Please. It's a great card, but we do have some breaking news on this
just
Thursday. You know,
this
the
is
UFC.
perfect timing.
Well, we've been sitting here waiting. I didn't want to be completely rude.
You should have.
Yes, nah, we're timing things out.
We're talking about English breakfast. All right. Fill us in. What is happening
Jordan
here?
doing his thing. Frankie's doing his thing. Andy doing their thing. Everyone's doing their thing. So, some breaking news.
Okay.
If you guys want some, you know, all week long, we have been talking about your trip to Des Moines. I have taken it upon myself to cancel said trip because, my friends, you are no longer going to Des Moines. You are going to the Republic of Azerbaijan. Yes, according to sources, the UFC is close to finalizing an event, a debut event in the Republic of Azerbaijan in June later this year. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, wow, Azerbaijan, that is pretty random. Well, I do want to remind you that there are over 10 million people who reside in the Republic of Azerbaijan. It is technically located in Asia, but it is bordered by 4 countries, Russia, Georgia, Armenia, and Iran. So those are,
there's a few fighters from there.
There's a few fighters on there.
I immediately went to Rafael Fiziev.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. There is a very famous fighter who hails from Azerbaijan. Great call on your part. He would seem to be a shoo-in for this event. No official confirmation as to whether or not he is in fact going to be on the event. You know, he told us last week, it was, right, that he was considering a move to 145. Now, I do want to stress this. There were a lot of reports that the UFC was going to Qatar in May, and then they seemingly, you know, called an audible, and now that event, I think, is happening at the Apex, which is, you know, quite the shift. And so I do want to say that things are very fluid right now, but there's a lot of money being thrown around, and Mark Shapiro, who is the head man over at TKO in that conference call that we've now talked about a few times, did mention that they were going to move a few Apex events to international locations, right? And so this would certainly fit. In one of them, a date that I've seen thrown around is the 21st of June. So let us see. But I think that would be very interesting, and I think we can all kind of guess the fighters that would want to be on that card, right? The fighters that would love to be on that card. A lot of the Dagestani fighters, the Chechenian fighters, Azerbaijanian fighters, and on it goes. Yeah, there's a ton of them. So let us see. But my friends, that's probably not the biggest news that I have for you on this Thursday afternoon. Dana White likes to break news on Wednesdays. We like to break news on Thursdays here on the Bots in the Basement. I am hearing via multiple sources that the UFC is very close to welcoming back former UFC title contender, former Ryzen Bantamweight Grand Prix winner, former Ryzen Bantamweight champion, and potentially now former Ryzen Flyweight champion, the great and very popular, the pride of Japan, Kyoji Horiguchi. This is a fighter that a lot of fighters speak very highly of at American Top Team. They call him the consummate teammate, professional friend. Everyone loves him. and the fans love him as well. He left the UFC, if you recall, in 2017. He was on a 3-fight losing streak, and he just decided to kind of go back home to really like build up Rizin once again. I'm not really sure what happened with my throat just there, but anyway, he had a great run over in Rizin, and would you believe it? In the last 8 years, he fought 20 times over the last 8 years. So if you're wondering, okay, why did you leave the UFC? Well, maybe activity, maybe to grow his star power a little more. I did notice on his socials earlier today, he's sponsored by New Era in Japan, which is pretty damn cool. In fact, I'm rocking some New Era gear right now, my Big League Chew Blue Jays gear.
That's pretty sick.
Courtesy of my friends over at New Era in anticipation for the new season that is about to commence. And so Kyoji Horiguchi close to coming to terms on a deal that would see him to come back and fight in the UFC's flyweight division. And who might he fight? Who might he fight? Who might he fight?
Well, this
I am. Yes.
I
Okay.
mean, you're alluding to it. You mentioned how great a teammate he is. You mentioned how great a friend he is. Naturally, it would lead to the conclusion that one of his teammates and friends, Alexandre Pantoja, is in the same gym.
No. I mean, that would be incredible, but no, that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that one of the opponents being discussed for his return fight would be Tagir Ulanbekov, who is 3-0 in his last 3 fights, who last fought in January of this past year, had a win over Clayton Carpenter, has wins over Cody Durden and Nate Manes. That is a fight that is being discussed as a potential for this card in Azerbaijan. You see how it all comes together here and now.
Kyoji Horiguchi versus Tagir Ulanbekov in Azerbaijan.
Potentially, yes. Now, very fluid, and I'm not trying to kind of play coy here and sit on the fence, but a lot of things are being moved around. There's a lot of fluidity. Like I said, there was strong talks that there was going to be a card in Qatar, and perhaps they do go back to Qatar at some point. But now we're hearing that it's not going to happen, and so let us see. But the Azerbaijan Fight Night event, which, by the way, I can't wait for that fight feast. I mean, that is going to be an absolute scene. What is the cuisine over in Azerbaijan? What do they got over there?
You tell me. Azerbaijan food, plav, dolmas. Oh, dolmas are my absolute favorite.
How's your passport? You good?
You do have to acknowledge that one of Azerbaijan's most famous sites is the Yanar Daj, the burning mountain.
You have to acknowledge that. You have to.
Of course you have to.
A natural glowing fire burning on a hillside along the Caspian Sea. By the way, true to its name, the mountain has been blazing for at least 65 years strong.
Shit.
So perhaps
is that
you could go visit the land of fire.
Kebabs?
I'm not quite sure.
Yo,
Are you coming with?
I might just do a dolma eating contest. I just recently discovered dolmas. It's like rice stuffed into grape leaves.
Oh my God.
It's like I can put those back like nobody's business.
Now, do you like them cold or hot? Because you can have them two ways.
I'm chilled. Are you a hot guy?
You're chilled, yeah. I prefer hot, but my grandmother makes them. Excuse me, I prefer chilled. My grandmother makes them hot, which I like as well. And some people actually put meat inside of them.
Ooh, I've actually never had them hot, so I can't really speak on it. I've only ever had them chilled. Yeah, the passport's ready to go. Are we booking the trip to Azerbaijan?
And are you coming?
Any direct? Well, you know what? I appreciate you guys inviting me this time. I mean, it's very kind of you. Like we're getting in on the ground floor.
Do we just go? Is Rotterdam, is Glory 100 going to be the week before? So we just go to Rotterdam, shows all week from Rotterdam, and then we'll just fly out to Azerbaijan. Yahoo Azerbaijan Studios, we'll have it set up by then. This is all coming together. Any direct
flights from JFK to Azerbaijan?
If it's LGA, JFK, EWR, we'll find it. Don't worry about it.
Easy work.
This is why I love the UFC. It's such a global sport. Baku is the capital.
Yep.
Flights.
That's right. The capital city of Baku.
It looks
but
beautiful.
Again, people will say like, they can't go every week all across the world. There's literally countries over in Asia that are willing to pay top dollar to bring the UFC to town. Don't tell us that they can't do it. Now, I suspect, I truthfully suspect that we're going to see less and less Apex events because of this, because the world has opened up again, as Dana White likes to say. But, I was looking, Azerbaijan, I think, has a 10 to 12,000 seat arena. So It may not be the first choice, and I could just hear the fans over in Chicago saying, "I can't believe Azerbaijan's getting an event before us." Azerbaijan got an event before GTA 6.
I knew that shit was coming. I knew you were going to say that.
Are you kidding
I knew you were going to say that. You do
what a
have to be
time.
sour if you're a Chicago fan.
Yeah,
It's like,
we're getting GTA 6 before the Chicago event.
we're going to
Or what-
Azerbaijan. It's just like,
Yep.
but we're not going.
Who's more
to the Windy
sour,
City.
Chicago or the fans in Lemoore, California, who were promised an event
the
in
make
the
good.
early days of the
The make
pandemic at the Tachi Palace?
Shout out to
But
the Tachi
honestly,
Palace.
Azerbaijan or not, seems like a lovely place. Horiguchi back in the flyweight division would be tremendous.
It's
And you
tremendous,
bring up a
but-
great point.
But it's only
You remember-
interesting to me if this is now in pursuit of the flyweight title. That's the only
Would you have
interesting
put him in a
angle to me.
title shot, in a
Yes,
title fight
100%.
off the
Now,
jump?
Well, yes, but only, that requires a conversation now with Alexandre
Yeah.
Pantoja. That because, as I said, teammates, friends, like main training partner, like that will have to be something that they'll have to come to terms on. I believe in the past when they've spoken about it, like they were open to it. It wasn't going to be a potential problem in their relationship or anything. They are competitors. But that's the only interesting thing for me for Horiguchi. Horiguchi is cream of the crop, top level. You bring him in, one fight, and then title shot. I would have given him a title shot
fight.
off bat, honestly.
Yeah, because look,
Pantoja's got no opponents.
they just gave Kai Sakura a title shot off the bat. It's not like you have to necessarily. Maybe you have to reintroduce Horiguchi, but you have a whole highlight reel of fights.
Yeah.
He fought for the belt. I know it ended in a not good way for him, but it's not like he's like if Asakura got one off the jump, why couldn't he? That being said, strong reports that Kai Kara France going to get this title shot, so maybe the timing doesn't work out, and maybe he just has to fight one time. And oh, by the way, there are so many fighters who call ATT home. Like look at when Armin was talking about Moicano and DP and all.
Yep.
Like there's
Yep.
so many different like factions there. I won't sit here and say that I'm an expert at like the state of the relationship between Horiguchi and Pantoja, but it wouldn't be the first time that two ATT guys are faced with this quote unquote predicament.
No, it's a massive gym. There's a lot of training partners. There's a lot of coaches. They typically can find a way to make that work.
Two things.
Yeah.
One, on the Horiguchi front, it really feels like the UFC is dedicated to getting a star from Japan. I know Horiguchi is returning, but I mean the flyweight division will now have Tatsuro Taira, Kaya Sakura, Kyoji Horiguchi, like three guys that could potentially be title challengers. And obviously Asakura moved right into a title shot when he got here. So I find that interesting. And then
Great point.
the second thing, Azerbaijan, where will they hold this? Because I'm looking at arenas now, and it looks like they're all open air. Like it doesn't
Yes.
seem like they have any closed-in arenas.
So I saw that too, but I think I saw one that was like around 10,000, but it did seem from the photos open air.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing the
that's-
same one. Maybe Boxell Arena, and it looks like it is in fact open air.
It's an open air. Golly.
Yeah, it's called an
What's the
arena,
weather
but
like?
but there's no
That's
no
the
roof
thing
on
that
it.
was tripping me up as well. They were calling the arena stadiums, and so I wasn't quite sure. That part I can't claim to know the specific. Believe it or not, I've never actually been to Azerbaijan, and
is
I'm
that where they
not
do
too.
Is
All
that,
right. When we all go,
is that where they do the
You'll
stadium
cross
show?
it off?
Baku National Stadium holds 69,000. Sell out for Rafael Fiziev.
I mean,
Does it seem
Now the question is-
come in?
Fiziev would have to be the main event, right? I mean, like,
unless it was a pay-per-view, yeah,
You'd
you'd
have
have
to
to do
think.
physique.
no, it's not a pay per view.
Yeah.
So the question is he fighting at lightweight? Is he fighting at featherweight?
I think
That's in
the
3 months.
the bigger fight would be a lightweight fight, but
And
I'm
who is
down.
it?
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, I don't know.
This
I mean,
is-
like, there's obviously big names or maybe bigger names in his vicinity at
What about
lightweight, but
Dan Hooker?
I was too soon.
He's not going
He
to be
just
healed
had
up by
surgery.
then.
Yeah, I am very intrigued by the idea of him fighting at featherweight. If you look at that fight against Justin Gaethje, he looked considerably smaller than him.
Well, we just saw
And,
him. Who was he standing next to? Aljamain Sterling, who
Yes.
was bigger than him.
Yes, that was crazy in the parking lot over there.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I mean, speaks to just how crazy Aljo's weight cuts are as well. But I'm curious. I would just think like it. You said you didn't have to look that up, right? When I said Azerbaijan, who'd you think of? You think
Rafael
Oh
of
yeah,
Fiziev,
physique
for
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
All right. I now have breaking news myself.
Oh, okay.
Frank, I also have breaking news.
Someone in the chat has answered our question. Baku Crystal Hall is it looks like a 12,000 seat arena,
Okay.
27,000 with standing room, and it does have a roof. I
Nice.
just sent Jordan the picture of it. Absolute beauty of an arena. I don't know where this thing is, but when we go, we're going to have to get some good pictures in front of it because it is it's a beaut. It's a beaut. Shout out to the Crystal Hall. But that looks like that's where they would do it.
All right, it seemed like you were going down a path. Featherweight, what do you think? What are you thinking?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I mean,
who's out there? We've got is Emmett in a fight? Does Emmett have something booked?
the first name that I thought of was John Silva. Yes, Emmett's fighting Lerone Murphy in a couple weeks.
That's right.
John Silva versus Fiziev, I think, would be incredible.
Jeez.
But he's fighting in April, and that would be too quick of a turnaround. There's a million. I mean, between 145 and 145, there's a million different guys.
Brian Ortega.
Look, Brian Ortega, but that's 155. I think his future is at 55.
Yeah. I guess they're kind of two ships passing in the night, eh?
Yes.
Swap. Yeah.
I mean, it would be a great fight at 55 if he stays there.
Yeah, he would be sick, but obviously he's fighting on 314. Lerone Murphy,
Pitbull,
if he gets
quick
a win?
turnaround.
But yeah.
I mean, that's 2 months.
Yeah, Lerone
Seems
is
like
also a quick turnaround.
I mean, let's call it what it is. As long as he gets an opponent, that stadium will be rocking. It doesn't really matter who's going to step in there.
Arena Crystal Hall, Baku Crystal Hall.
Sorry.
Look at that.
Look at that.
thing.
Oh,
Look
damn,
at
that
that.
is nice.
Go ahead and Photoshop
Yeah.
me in. That's going to be a great pick.
I know you guys have a lot to get to, so I don't want to take up more time, but there you have it. Horiguchi moving towards a return. Let's hope that they get it done. I think everyone would be very excited about that. Azerbaijan, if you're from there, cross your fingers if that's something you believe in. Hopefully it has a better fate than the Qatar debut. And so exciting things happening if you are an international fan and a longtime fan, because let's be honest, Gooch is one of those like hardcore fans' favorite fighter. So I think a lot of people would be excited about that. All right, guys, I'm out.
Well,
Peace.
while we have you, can you
sorry.
just sign
Oh,
off?
right.
I'll just book it right now so we can all get to Azerbaijan as quickly as possible here.
Yes,
Turkish Airlines to
yes.
Istanbul.
What do we got? What do we got?
It's like 13 hours, but I think we can do it.
Turkish Airlines, I'm down for.
Shout out.
Yeah.
All right.
Great
By the way-
airline, top
By the way,
rated.
this is like 10 hours less than going to Riyadh, by the way. Like this is nothing.
Easy, light
This is
work. We're
actually
there.
nothing.
All right.
No direct though. No
Sorry
direct
to the
No direct
people
from
of.
JFK, I'm sorry.
Direct, man. It's bonding time.
Yeah, sorry to the
where was the
people-
layover for that one?
Istanbul.
Should we
Both
spend
ways?
more time?
Both ways.
Let's do the Istanbul, but we stay an extra day. You hit up your boys from
Fight
Hairtime
Feast.
Now. No, not Fight Feast. Get the plugs. Get the plugs, baby. I'll be back.
Oh my
Get the fake hair. I'm telling you. Look quick.
And then you're sitting on the flight. You ever see those videos where the dude is sitting on the flight and it's like there's blood coming out of his?
Yeah.
I have
I'll
seen
be,
videos.
I'll be pulling up to Azerbaijan, just dripping blood. The picture in front of the Crystal Hall, I'll just be like posing like this. I'll just have the red dots all over my head.
I have seen
great.
videos of people coming back, and it's a flight full of people with the dots,
Oh
like
my
people with the
God.
Place to
bleeding
go.
heads.
It's the place to go. Hairtime Now.
There's two. Last thing. There's two videos that I cannot like swipe past. I have to watch it.
Okay.
Sort of like Bill Simmons in that movie you talked about. I don't
the
remember
rewatchables. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, those videos. There's something about like the
The
whole
hair
process
transplant.
and
Okay.
yes, those videos like with the pencil and
Yeah,
the thing
yeah.
and the limo and all that. I'm always captivated by them. And the other one, I'll tell you, my guilty pleasure these days.
Uh-oh.
There's these weird videos of like. Spend the day with a 26-year-old guy living in the suburbs of Chicago, and it's like the most boring. These videos?
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
guy wakes
Yes,
up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And he puts
Average
his
day.
laptop in the bag.
100%.
And like has a nice breakfast, and then he goes, and it's 9 a.m. and then 5, and then he takes a shower, and then he
Yep.
sits there and he eats his TV dinner. Why am I captivated by
Okay,
these videos?
Well, if you're
But I
talking
can't
about
stop watching
if you're
them.
talking about the OG that puts the laptop super slowly into the backpack, that guy is sold out now. He's now just a full-time content creator. He quit his 9 to 5. I actually think
Wait, someone actually like started that?
oh yeah, there was one guy, and I want to say the username was something like normalized 9 to 5 or something like that. He has now quit the 9 to 5. He's a full-time creator.
There's that
man.
version the whole day. Then there's just the get ready with me, where it's just the prep, and then you go out.
No, I don't want that.
there's
I want the whole day.
Yeah, you need the
I
whole
want
day.
the whole day
day?
in the suburbs of Illinois.
I
and
want
then
it
he
to be the
goes,
most average shit of all
Yes,
time.
yes,
You hitting the
yes.
drive-through,
Yes,
you
yes.
sitting down to watch Netflix, and
Yes.
put some shitty music under it. I'm in. I watched one yesterday.
For me, instant skip.
no,
Scroll right by.
I watched
Instant skip.
I watched some
Done.
guy in like nowhere, Missouri yesterday eat Chipotle leftovers
Yes.
for lunch. I was
Yes. You know these videos.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
He comes home. He'll put on like some random Midwest school T-shirt and hat, like Valparaiso or Creighton or something, and he'll sit down. He'll watch like ESPN College Game Day, and I'm like,
They're
I feel like this
they're
guy's gotta
watching
figure it out.
TV in this shit. You're watching them
Oh,
watch
yeah,
TV.
like, oh yeah,
it's great.
It is. You're
on.
the most ho-hum average American going
Yes.
about their day.
Yes.
What the fuck kind of escapism do you two need from your lives? That
Brain
you're
rot,
watching
man.
this shit.
Brain rot. You know,
Jesus
sometimes it's just
Christ.
like guys living the dream.
Thank you for the breaking
update,
news.
brother. Thanks, man.
Sorry to everybody in Iowa. We're canceling the trip, and
Oh, we're still going to Iowa.
No. Ariel said it's a replacement. We're
Then we're going to
not
Azerbaijan.
Iowa. We're going to Azerbaijan.
Actually, we're going to Istanbul first, and then we're going to Azerbaijan.
I was thinking we do a quick stop in Turkey just because like it'd be sick to go to Turkey.
Fuck yeah.
You're thinking let's get a little business done and then
Business
show
and
up.
pleasure and work. We'll do the fight feast while we're there. Fight feast with the blood just dripping from my head. It'll be great. I want to go just because it's fun to say Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
It's a great name for a country.
Azerbaijani, that's what we would call a resident, right? Or
It's a sick
somebody
name.
hailing from there. Somebody who is Azerbaijani.
It's cooler
Um,
than Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's-
that's the name of the country. No.
Yeah.
Azerbaijani for sure.
that is going to be that. I mean, first of all, that venue. Shout out to the
Crystal
member
Hall,
of the chat.
Baku Crystal Hall.
Looks
Shout out.
sick.
Yeah, whoever.
Uh,
hopefully that was an authentic Azerbaijani.
How many
in the chat.
Azerbaijan-
Look at that,
like-
Crystal Hall? I'm in. Imagine that with just a big UFC belt in front of it and a Fiziev versus Holloway.
Ah,
fight
chill out,
poster.
Max. But as Ariel alluded to, a lot of people from the region. But how many like true Azerbaijani fighters are on the roster?
Nazim Sadikov, Rafael Fiziev. I think that's it.
That's it, just the two.
yeah. If I'm not
That's
mistaken.
still pretty good because then you get those two, you put them in a good position, and then you get people who are from the regions around, and you've got a stacked card at that point.
You got Tofik Musayev, who doesn't
Oh,
fight in
okay.
the UFC.
Wait, yeah, he was in PFL, right?
Yeah. Nazim Sadikov. And
Okay, so it's those two, and then you fill it out with people from Georgia, Dagestan. Like you'll be able to hit the quota there.
Nazim had that draw against Slavakos. But
Yeah.
other than that, man, he's 10-1-1. No fight on the books.
Yeah.
Fiziev, no fight on the books.
Oh, you nah.
No. I'm not saying them
Oh,
fight
okay.
each other. I'm saying no.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
makes
do
sense for them to go to that.
Azerbaijani
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
Azerbaijani. Great flag. Nice blue, nice red, and nice green. All right, UFC Azerbaijan.
We're in.
Oh, couldn't be more in. All right, let's go back to UFC London though, real quick. Let's knock out Parlay
Picks, yeah.
Pals, picks, bets, all that. Let's do a quick recap first of my bets last week and the Parlay Pals last week. My bets, success. We bounced back. We needed one. We bounced back. Got like 3.26 units. Honestly, the one that got me was Nurgaze, which you get what you pay for, man. You get what you pay for. I deserved that. UFC debutant got what did he get? Kamorad from bottom?
Mhm.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That was a tough scene. If he wins, it's a perfect night. I end up like almost 7 units, but it's all right. Overall record. And this is on the third-party track site, betmma.tips. We are up over 50 units. You can just find all the tracking there. Obviously, MMA Hour, there was a bunch more, but we weren't doing the third-party tracking. This is to keep it as transparent as possible. Never going to charge. Never going to do nothing like that. These are just my bets. You do with them what you will. And then the Parlay Pals won as well.
Yes, sir.
Look at that, 4 for 4. We need to win this week to get back in the green.
Yeah, easy, light work.
And the
Easy,
5-11
easy,
is
easy
tough.
work.
The 5-11 is tough. Like imagine like your NFL team goes 5-11. You're like, we stunk this year.
Yeah, but we're almost even.
We're almost even.
Even if we are 5-11, or let's say next week when we're 6-11, we'll still be actually like 500, right? We've made just enough
Yep.
units to get to that equator.
Yeah. So
It's the comeback story that people were watching for.
I mean,
Yeah.
last time we did it. Let's see if we can do it again.
didn't ask for big hitters this week. UFC Vegas 104. It's just been slipping my mind. I have to ask on Sunday. This
Okay,
Sunday.
okay.
First thing I'm doing when I wake up after UFC London. You know what? Maybe I'll do it. It ends early here. Maybe I'll ask as soon as UFC London ends. But I will ask for him because I do love giving the shout outs. All right, Parlay Pals. Frankie, let's throw in the randomizer. All right. I will go first, and good thing because I have to get my pick. Rick second, Frankie third, and then Pizzi gave us his pick already. He went with Loner Kavanaugh, the undefeated man.
Irish, I believe, right?
Chinese by way of mother, I believe, but grew up in the UK and Ireland. Like he reps the Chinese flag, and I think he got the fight in Macau.
Oh, shut
If
up.
I'm not mistaken. I could be misremembering this.
No, and also, yeah, fighting out of England.
Fighting out of England. But reps the Chinese flag, no?
Yeah.
I believe it's
He
because
does have the Chinese flag.
his mother. And I want to say he fought. Yeah, he did. He fought on that. He fought on that UFC Macau card.
International man.
International man, and that's who Pizzi will be rolling with. Loner Kavanaugh, pretty big favorite. Undefeated fighter. We mentioned earlier, 9-17
Yeah.
UFC in 2025. Going to be interesting to see. My pick. There's just no question, folks. Look at that. Guram Kutataladze, curtain jerker. We will know quick whether or not we got a leg down or whether or not we are losers on Saturday afternoon.
Saw that video. Morgan Charrier. Like, saw that video and instantaneously knew that was going to be the pick. The last pirate, Morgan Charrier. Easy.
Frankie?
For me, I feel really confident about this one. McCann and Tainara are going to go over 2.5 rounds. I have a feeling they're going to go the full distance, but I really just need them to go over 2.5, and then they could do what they want.
I think that's always a good call. I
it.
think it's good to go over in WMMA. I think that's a good call. So that gets us to over plus 200. And if we can get the win here, plus 297. If we get the win here, we'll be fully cemented back in the green. So let's do it.
Light work. Easy.
I say we do it. All right, I'll rip through my bets. I'm not gonna lie, man. Ended up having more action than I anticipated on this one. Ended up having more action on this card than I anticipated. We'll start first bet. Kalen Lochrain. Got him at dog odds. I mentioned earlier when we were talking about the fight, I think Fletcher's going to try as hard as he can to get this fight to the ground. If he doesn't, I think Lochrain's going to win. 100% takedown defense, obviously small sample size, but I think the experience and the defensive wrestling will work well for him, and he will get it done. Next up, the Indian Queen, Pooja Tomar. I think she gets the second victory for Indian female
By the
MMA
way,
in the UFC.
I looked this up, and it's a lot of outlets saying the first Indian fighter.
Indian.
Period. I guess
Angel Jubilee, no love.
and also Arjun Buller hailing from Canada, but
Okay.
so maybe it's from India, hailing from India. Either way,
Pooja Tomar.
the first Indian fighter or the first woman from India.
We had some success last week with this lower level MMA. Just bet the dog.
the dog.
Sam Hughes last week. Priscilla Cachoeira last week. Both pretty big dogs, plus 150 and plus 200. We're just gonna go back to the well on that one. I don't rate Shauna Bannon incredibly high. So yeah, fight that probably goes to a decision. Give me Pooja Tomar in that one. We keep it rolling. I couldn't stay away. Shout out to Big Mick Parkin. Tough test for him, but I'm just of the Aspinall family, of the Aspinall Gymnasium. I support Team Aspinall, so I will be supporting Mick Parkin. Couple heart bets on this one. So yeah, I'm gonna say he outpoints him to a decision victory. Tibera doesn't get any takedowns, and Parkin has the success. Crowd goes wild when they read a 29-28 scorecard. Next up, I'm actually going to go with Jai Herbert. Like I mentioned, similar to the Nathaniel Wood fight, I think he keeps the distance. I think he avoids getting finished. And I know the chin's been checked before, but I think he keeps the distance. He stays at range, and he's able to outstrike to a decision victory against Taco Badilla. And then in the next fight, the same thing. I'm going with Nathaniel Wood as the dog. I think he keeps it standing. I think it's very close. I think he gets the decision victory. He avoids the knockout. He avoids getting taken down. And he gets it done. Very close fight, but I'm siding with the dog in this one. I think Chacrier is The hype is behind him. The personality, the panache that he puts on. People love him. So I think we're getting a decent price here on Nathaniel Wood. And then Gunnar Nelson. Taking him on the money line because I am a fan of his, and I think the path is just right there. Doors wide open, Gunnar. Let's just do it. We'll find out about this bet real quick on the chances of it hitting. And then you got to, if you're going to take it, Gunnar Nelson money line, Gunnar Nelson sub. Little half unit on that guy as well. Take him down. Get this up. Be done with it. Main event. We're supporting the Duck. We're supporting Sean Brady. We want him to win just to elevate our matchup. That's what we need to see happen. We need Sean Brady to get it done. Elevate our cycle off. Our bike race. Sean Brady gets the takedowns. Survives on the feet. Does what he needs to do on the feet to get it in close and get the takedowns. Sean Brady makes his ascension into the upper echelon of welterweight. And then a couple parlays.
Just for our audio listeners out there, GC does graphics for these, and there was an image of a duck.
Shout out.
Instead of Sean Brady.
He is ducking me. He's actively ducking me. He's literally not even in the country. He left the country to avoid me. Parlay here. Guram money line. Carlos Ulberg money line. We mentioned it earlier. I just think the age, the injuries, the layoff, everything will get to Jan, the speed, and the power for Ulberg. And then another one with Guram and Vucenic. I like his chances here against Chris Duncan, whether it stays standing or goes to the ground. I think he's got all bases covered, and those are my bets.
I like it.
For UFC London. And I feel like we've tied a nice bow on this card. The only way to finish it off is with this week's episode of Fight Feast. Me, Frankie, and camera guy Nick rolled down to Tea and Sympathy here in Manhattan, got ourselves a full English and a couple more English goodies while we are there. Fight Feast, episode 19. Please enjoy. Hello. UFC London this weekend. Sean Brady, the Duck, my arch nemesis, taking on the hometown kid, Leon Edwards. So we are here at Tea and Sympathy to try a full English breakfast. Feels like a full circle moment for Fight Feast. Started with me cooking an English breakfast at home, got destroyed by the Brits in the comments. I'm not cooking today. Tea and Sympathy is Fight Feast episode 19. Let's go. Got to keep it kind of quiet here. It's a proper tea house. It's people enjoying their breakfast. Don't want to disturb them, but we start this little English breakfast tea proper. Okay. All right. That's how you do that. Proper. Look at this. Beautiful china, flowers, strawberries on the plate. And then look at this teapot. Look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. All right. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Right through the strainer. A little bit of milk, not too much, just as. Ooh. Stir it up. Nice, beautiful caramel color. This ain't your barista over here. This is just old CB working through a little spot of sugar.
Looks beautiful.
Oi, Mike. Is that Australian? Hello. Steaming hot. Beautiful. Oh, Frank. Cheers, my brother.
Cheers. Beautiful morning.
Cheers. All right, so despite it looking like a volcano right here, just like steaming like Vesuvius, it's actually not that hot. It adds to the aesthetic. Absolute beautiful finger sandwiches. We got cucumber and cream cheese, avocado, tomato, and watercress, chicken salad to finish it off on multigrain. I've actually never had these before. Every time I see them on TV, someone eating tea, I'm always like, God, those look so good. They just look better than a normal sandwich.
Oh, listen to that.
All right, cucumber crunch. I feel like I should go see Big Ben now. That's class. That's class. And then the chicken salad to finish this off. Here we go. There's one. Chicken salad is absolute class. Chicken salad, then cucumber and cream cheese, then tomato, avocado, and watercress. I just feel a little bit more fancy eating it like this. No crust, that's huge. All right, Frank's just handed me this cider. It says it's apple. Oh, wow. Apple cider is great. Is there alcohol in this?
Yes.
All right, Frank just handed me an alcoholic beverage at 9:52 a.m.
What are we doing here, huh?
All right, we got some HP sauce, brand new bottle just for us. We're gonna crack the label on this bad boy. Ooh, it smells vinegary. I was told this is what I have to have. I mean, it's got to be London. It's got Big Ben on it. It's got the London Bridge on it. I don't think that's the London Bridge. You've obviously got the toast and the butter. You got the Heinz baked beans. You've got a sausage link. You got Irish back bacon. You've got scrambled eggs buried under the sausage and bacon. You got a roasted tomato. And then you got sauteed mushrooms. And you finish it off with the black pudding, which is a blood sausage. It's got animal blood, pork fat, filler with oatmeal and barley. It sounds way worse than it actually is. Full English breakfast. No one can say anything. This is proper right here. Let's dig it. Order of operations here. We're gonna butter my toast first. People are gonna be out for me. On the toast, on the tea, I already know it. I know how you Brits work. You're strict about your cuisines. They're gonna be coming for my head, Frankie. All right, a little HP sauce on the eggs. Is this like Heinz ketchup? I gotta give it a spanking? There we go, I'm an expert. Toast is buttered. Eggs got the HP on it. Looks like we're ready to eat here. No brainer, eggs is class. Yeah, tremendous. Irish back bacon, tremendous. These are all no-brainers. Sausage is unbelievable. The mushrooms, huge mushroom fan. Don't know if I love them in the AM like this. These are quite good. They go well with the eggs. The final frontier is the beans. Every time I want to like them, I just don't. Do we put it on the toast?
Put it wherever you want, man.
It just is this wrench in my breakfast. I love everything about it. I don't need the beans. This is odd flavor, odd texture in the morning. Black pudding I had never had before I started eating English breakfast. It does not sound like it would be good. It does not look like it would be good either.
What part? Blood
It's
sausage?
so good. Of all the three meats, I actually think it's the best. The tomato and the beans feel a bit unnecessary to me, you know? Let's go egg and tomato on the toast. That's good. That's good. What I love about English breakfast, it just feels like you're an animal. Just go on in. There's always something to take another bite of. Whether it's the beans or it's the black sausage, it's mouth should never not be full while you're eating an English breakfast. Got a little room left, stuff a couple beans in there. Wash the English breakfast down with some English breakfast tea. I mean, I get it. Honestly, I'll hold the beans moving forward, but the full fry-up is tough to beat. One of England's greatest exports. We got the scones, which sort of look like what we call biscuits in America. Frank just laser penetrating eyes, shaking his head as hard as he possibly could. Anyway, scones, clotted cream, jam, clotted cream. You let it cool in the pan so it clots up. And can we just talk about how beautiful this is? I mean, and the cup is chilled to perfection. It looks like some soft serve ice cream. Nope, this is your clotted cream. The china, the tablecloth, the feeling of coziness in here, the British decoration. It really is top-notch, class, as they say, proper, as they say.
Look at all that steam. Fogging up the glasses.
Clotted cream first or jam first? What team are you? I know there's a lot of jam first people out there. We're gonna make us a sandwich. Little C squared, clotted cream, shout out. It hurts. That is, as they say, that's tough. Let's get some jam on there though. Oh yeah. Let's finish this bad boy up. Reconstruct it here. No harm, no foul. This and some tea, I could eat for the rest of my life. Cream incredible, jam incredible, unreal. Okay, this is sticky toffee pudding. Frank demanded that we order it. I was like, man, I'm getting kind of full. I feel like we got the full experience. He said, no. We got to get this sticky toffee pudding. It smells good. Kind of looks like meatloaf in mashed potatoes, but I think it's sticky toffee pudding in cream. I will be taking one bite, and then I'm handing it off to Frankie to finish the rest. Whoa. This is literally like sticky toffee in a vanilla pudding. Nice and hot. Yeah. No, it was great. Easy. Not what I was anticipating. Not the prettiest dish on earth, you know. Not what you put on the cover of the cookbook, but it still tastes good. That'll do it for me. All right. Any facts about England you can share with the audience, Frankie?
If you look at the Union Jack, it's a combination of 3 flags.
Oh, nice. That is actually a good fact. What are the flags?
Wales.
No.
Scotland. England.
Okay.
The Isle of Man.
No.
Wales has to be on there.
England, Scotland, and Ireland. I think the biggest thing about the English breakfast, it's beautiful for a nice Saturday morning, maybe a hungover Saturday morning, Sunday morning. It puts you back to sleep. I'm ready to go back to bed now. I feel like I'm not ready to attack the day, All right, we got the full English in our bellies, but we're not done yet. We got to go next door to the English market, get some snacks. I'm hoping they got Maltesers in there. Quick fact about Tea and Sympathy. My guy Seamus inside just told me Conor McGregor, a frequent visitor of Tea and Sympathy when he comes to New York. His order, though, not the full English, the Sussex chicken. Shout out. Shout out to the Sussex chicken, and shout out to this place, an old school store stacked to the ceilings with goods shipped directly from the UK and Ireland. Shout out to my guy Jake behind the counter. This place is incredible. Here we go, me and Frankie in the park. All right, let's look at this haul. We got Maltesers. We got a chocolate orange, goat candy, shout out. They fly off the shelves, can't keep them in stock. We got some pick and mixes. This was a recommendation. We got some digestifs. This is a log of them. This feels aggressive. This feels like I could have used one or two of these. This is McVitie's. A crunchy, a flaky. We got Walker's cheese and onion, prawn cocktail.
Oh my God, I love them.
Just let you take those, Frankie. Wow, already opened them.
Got them.
Okay, already opened them.
Oh my God. It tastes exactly like a shrimp cocktail.
We got some hula hoops, and then we got my guy Jacob's favorite, the Boost. Look at that. I mean, it's like exploding out whatever's in here. We got a lot of goodies here. Everything in that store was shipped from the UK. All right, here we go. The Boost. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And sticky. All right, here we go, the crunchy. I got high hopes for this one. What the fuck is in this?
The Honey Crisp?
Oh, Honey Crisp.
Yeah.
It looks like a sponge. Yeah, they're not kidding. This is quite crunchy. These all feel like fake candies to me. This does not look good. This does not look good. This looks like I'm about to eat a stick. Who is eating this? A friggin' Yule log of digestives. Biscuit. Oh, these are good. Oh, these are great. Biscuit with chocolate on it. They're pretty good. Does it help you digest stuff?
It does taste like a Ritz crack.
Unsalted Ritz crack. I am fucking walking here, huh? Fight Feast fans. Pick and mix. We're gonna pick them and then we're gonna mix them. It's like dots. Like dots over here. Very thick gummy. Lemon wedge. Oh. Look at that. They're gonna try and work through that. This is not coming off my teeth for a week. Pick and mix. No thanks. Okay, here we go. Some hula hoops. We compared these to Pringles. Okay, salt and vinegar. I was like, these taste exactly like salt and vinegar Pringles. Cheese and onion Walkers taste kind of like you'd expect. Tastes like cheese and onion. Reminder, it's 10:21 in the morning, so it's not great. Tried and true, my favorite British snack. Absolutely love these. Love, love, love these. Maltesers. Look at this. Open it up, gift box. The best things come in small red boxes. They sure do. Maltesers. It's like someone took Whoppers and was like, maybe we should make these things taste good. And out came Maltesers. They're unbelievable. Are you a Whoppers guy?
I am a Whoppers guy.
Last but not least, a little chocolate orange. Terry's chocolate orange. We gotta cut it up like a clementine, so we just gotta get the slam, bam, break it up. Yes, look at that. My favorite. Which one of those? America should have more chocolate, orange flavored chocolate. All right, full English, scones, tea, stocky pudding, tiki stoffy pudding. British snacks, it's all in there. Great morning. Now I'm gonna go sleep all of this off. Full English, always down for it. Shout out to the Brits. They got something going on with that. All right, that's it. Fight Feast, UFC London. Cheerio. Ta-ta. Goodbye for now. We'll see you later. Fight week, isn't it? Leon's getting into a proper scrap down at the O2, yeah? Take the tube then, innit? Harry Potter. Ooh, shit. We'll go to UFC London and then we'll go see the footy, yeah? Proper scrap down at the O2, you fucking
Tuesday. Hello. You're a wizard, Harry. Eating my chocolate orange, reading Harry Potter, drinking out of my water bottle. Bollocks. Cheeky. Queue up in the loo. Tuesday. Spotted tea. All hail the queen. With cheese and crackers. Just being a proper cheeky. You fucking. I've said more today than I have in my entire life.
Man, shout out to Tea and Sympathy. Shout out to the English breakfast. It was a great time. It was a great time. Frankie, you enjoyed it?
Absolutely.
How about that sticky toffee pudding, man?
You know what? It wasn't actually what I thought it was. I've had it before, and it was like served in a small cauldron, and then you poured a cream on top of it.
Ooh.
It didn't look yellow. It didn't look like a log of meatloaf. I don't know, but I didn't want to. It tasted all right, but it wasn't what I was looking for.
Yeah. I'm not a big dessert after breakfast guy, unless it's like maybe like a flaky pastry or something like that, Alas, it was a great time. Shout out to Tea and Sympathy. The store next door is like a general store. Everything is shipped directly from the UK and Ireland. The guy Jacob there from the UK helped us out with everything, gave us all the recommendations. And then beyond that, all under the same ownership, is a fish and chip shop called Assault and Battery. If you're in the New York area and you want an authentic UK experience, Tea and Sympathy is incredible. It is top notch. We couldn't bring Rick with us because it is such tight quarters. We needed only the essential personnel.
Yes. I would have loved to have attended, but it looks like you had a good time. I definitely would have really liked to be there for the snacks. For one, I'm a snacker. I love the snacks. But also just to hear you doing like, whoa, like that was next level stuff.
We barely even scraped the surface with the snacks. Like I was like, it was overwhelming being in there. We missed out on the Jamie Dodgers, the wine gums, the pigs. Not Peppa. There's some pig over there that's famous. But yeah,
it's not Peppa?
I don't. It's like gummy pigs. I don't know. We missed out on it though. There's so much there. So yeah, shout out to Tea and Sympathy. And I might have another full English on Saturday to warm up for the card.
I love it.
A full fry up's tough to beat. It's tough to beat. It really is good stuff. So that's that. UFC London. We still have pound for pound to go, but I did want to highlight one tweet from our old colleague, old friend, Mr. Damon Martin, who said Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick is booked for a UFC Fight Night card on June 19th per multiple sources. Maverick initially announced the matchup on Instagram. Full story coming to MMA Fighting. What I wanted to highlight there, though.
Oh, we also have an Instagram post, it looks like,
from
Miranda.
Straight from Miranda Maverick.
From Miranda Maverick. Rose Namajunas has been an inspiration for many women, especially in women's MMA, and I am no exception. I watched her fight as I was coming up in the sport, and then I got to train with her on a regular basis. We've been training together for the past few years, but luckily trained primarily at different gyms. Now it's time to duke it out in front of the world and then go back to sharpening each other's tools. I'm honored to share the cage with a champion person and fighter, and I am ready to put the stamp on where I belong.
Big fight for her.
Big fight. Big fight for her, for Rose. But the key, most important factor there, UFC Atlanta, June 14th.
We just made plans to go to Amsterdam, to Netherlands.
Rotterdam, canceled. Azerbaijan, still on the following week. I'll take a direct from Hartsfield to Baku. It'll be great. UFC Atlanta, I will be there, though. Stamped. Anyone who wants to join can join. Doesn't matter. I'm coming home, baby.
Are there any fighters from Atlanta still? Like
Cody Durden is from the area.
Okay.
The return of Rafael Assunção.
All right.
He's got Alpharetta top team up there.
Yeah, he's got the gym.
Yeah. UFC Atlanta, I will 1,000% be going. There's nothing stopping.
I don't doubt it.
Mom, Dad,
I'm coming home.
Get the guest room ready for me. June 14th.
Huge fight for Maverick. Like to see Rose, still trying to claim her spot and giving an opportunity to an up-and-comer. So, yeah, makes sense at this point in Rose's career.
You could get Chris Barnett on the card, as pointed out by Jonas Sachs in the chat.
Shout out to the legend.
Yeah. Athens.
Yeah.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Represents. So, yeah, that should be a fun one. All right, pound for pound rankings, and then we'll do a couple chats to finish this off. This week we'll be going with British fighters, all-time British fighters. You can interpret this however you want. If you want to go best, if you want to go most accolades, if you want to just go your favorite, pound for pound, your pound for pound, British Fighters. I can't wait to hear what Frankie's cooked up. I'm very excited.
Can I make a guess, Frank, before you go?
I have to.
I think you're going to do British fighter planes or something. You're going to pick like the top like flight of British jets that were used in war.
You already saw the list. How could you get no? So starting at number 5, I have Paddy Pimblett.
Wow, this says English Fighters. I was under the assumption British Fighters.
Yeah, there's always confusion as to what the actual list is going to be on show day, but here we are. English Fighters, Paddy Pimblett at number 5, specifically for what he does in the octagon. I really like how humble he is after a win, where he makes a shout out for like men's mental health and like small children who have hardships, this sort of thing. Like, really like that. The stuff that he does outside of the octagon, I could really care less. But once he's in there, I fully am for Paddy Pimblett. I like the way he gets the crowd going, everything else. Number 4, my man Dan Hardy. Doesn't fight anymore, I get it, but he used to. Look at this mohawk. Red, love it. And it's almost like watching him now, doing, he's a color analyst, right? Is that the proper title for that?
That's it, yep.
Yeah. What better color analyst than the guy who knew to have a red mohawk when he was fighting?
I like what you did
octagon. There. I love it. Coming in at number 3, Tyson Fury.
Oh.
And every time I think of Tyson Fury, I remember one of the first times we interviewed him, he was in his bed and just like couldn't be bothered to like get out of bed to have this interview. So I just did a search.
I think it was this exact bed.
It probably is. So this is the thing. I did a search for, I wanted to get like maybe a screenshot of when we did that interview, but instead apparently he like helps build beds. Like he does woodworking. And he builds these extremely ornate beds.
What a unique man.
So now this like comes full circle. I'm like, of course the guy's not getting out of his fucking bed. Like he built it with his own hands. Like it's an interview with Ariel Helwani. No, it's an interview with Tyson Fury in his bed. Number 2, I mean, I don't know how else to put this, but it's got to be. He's just the mensch of all mensches. Like these are the kinds of people from England that I want to hang out with. Like they're just super nice, but like everything they say has that like kind of cheeky, sarcastic tone to it. And then he delivers in the octagon as well. He's been a lot of fun to watch, and I can't wait for him and Jones to finally get in there together, and let's do it. And then coming in at number 1, not UFC, not boxing, but as of right now, PFL, we've got Dakota. And
wow, number one fighter.
I mean, right now, like as far as pound for pound goes, like I want to see her go to the UFC. I want to see her get challenged a little bit more, and I think she wants it too. And I'm here to make sure that she gets it by being on the top of my pound for pound. Surely that's enough to get a negotiation
Frank's
done.
propelling her
It's
into
done.
into the UFC. I love it. I love it, Frankie.
That's crazy.
Perfect. So
number 1.
Eric is up next with his pound for pound, and we'll finish it off with Connor.
Number 1. Second, Tom Aspinall. Second to Dakota.
Don't jump to call Tom right now and let him know that that's happening. Like he can find it naturally. That's all right.
He's actually calling me. Hey, Tom. No, yeah, I saw it too. Yeah, Ditcheva over you. It's fucking crazy. I know. You want to fight Frank while the interim while you're waiting on John? Okay, great.
Wow, what a weekend. Okay, I like that a lot, Frank. Frank went with the heart. I am also going with the heart. Now, as you said, you could have done based on the accolades, who are the top British fighters of all time, and I don't think that my list would reflect that, but my list reflects the ones that spoke to me, the ones that created fandom into me, the ones that every time I watched them conjured something. And I think Frank is the same. Frank, trying to spur Dakota onto some bigger fights in the UFC, but he picked from the heart. I also picked from the heart. Number 5, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's been the author of a lot of great moments for me, especially in recent years. I think you'll see like mine has a mix of like older and younger, but in recent boxing, no man has like exemplified British boxing like Tyson Fury. And obviously we have Anthony Joshua, who did it for a long time. We have Dubois now. There are many names in the heavyweight division, but none, I think, created the magical moments for me in the way that Tyson Fury did. As Frank kind of pointed to when he talked about him, outside the ring, he's also a showman. He's also been able to just be a mercurial kind of interesting figure. Inside the ring, the getting off the canvas against Deontay Wilder, the trilogy series with Wilder, the recent fights with Usyk. I love Tyson Fury. I'm just a fan of Tyson Fury, and he's created some great moments for me. Number 4, we're going back. We're going back now. This is one that I've come to more recently as I've been building up the excitement ahead of the biggest fight in British boxing between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank. I've gone back to the archives and I really dug deep on both Chris Eubank Sr. and one Nigel Benn, and Nigel Benn's a dog, my friend. Nigel Benn is a bad motherfucker. If you've not seen some of the fights from this guy, I encourage you to, because he is all action, pure aggression. Honestly, not dissimilar to Conor. Like it is pure rage and fire and heart and guts when he's in there. There will be people who have better technique, but when it comes to reaching down into the pits of something and pulling it out, he delivered every time. I encourage you, there's a fight against Gerald McClellan. Now, there was a kind of tragic ending to this because at the end of this fight, McClellan was in very rough shape and ended up like in a coma for a certain amount of time, then came out, lost use of his legs, I believe. Like it was a true war. But the fight itself, back and forth action, I believe 9 rounds. In the first round, it looked like 9. Like it was one of those fights where McClellan had Nigel Benn so thoroughly demolished in the first round. In a current boxing scenario, he does not get out of that round. He's finished in that round. It continues, and it just keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier. By the end of it, it was absolutely nuts. He ends up finishing McClellan to the. It looked like McClellan had nothing left, and then we find out like later, like it did severe health damage to him. But the heart and grit and tenacity that Nigel was able to summon in that fight, just can't speak more highly of the kind of heart that he had as a fighter. But just all action, all power, skilled. Like he was an incredible all action fighter. Love Nigel Benn. Gets me more excited to see Conor versus Chris Eubank Jr. And Conor's dad was a bad man. Telling you, worth going back to see his fights. Number 3, another one as I was coming up as a young MMA fan that was one of the like pioneers of the UK scene, and alongside Dan Hardy was one of the names that always continued to come up when we thought of this scene, and that is one Paul Semtex Daly, the author of some gnarly knockouts and some gnarly fights, knockout wise. And I think I may have mentioned this. Maybe it was in the MMA Hour era. There's a fight against Romario Manuel da Silva in Bama where he hits him with an uppercut that separates the man. Like, he lifts him off the floor with an uppercut. Not fucking around. He hits him with an uppercut so violently that he levitates into the cage. Find it if you have not seen it. Paul Daly in his prime was one of the hardest hitters we've ever seen. Semtex was the perfect nickname for him because every time he connected it, it was like a bomb was going off. It was an explosion. The fight against, people have heard this pairing mentioned many times. Nick Diaz, Paul Daly, one of the best like rounds in MMA history, one of the best fights in MMA history. Had Diaz face planted, and as you know, the Diaz brothers are notoriously tough and hard to kind of like knock down. Had him face planted, then Diaz gets up. Daly ends up losing that fight, but just one of the best fights ever. Ariel had that when we did the look back. He did that interview with Diaz ahead of the Daly fight. Diaz Daly, go see that. Go find that uppercut because it just like blew my mind, and it continues to. It was fun to go back and watch some of Paul Daly's fights because he was just the knockout king. He was the GOAT. Okay, number 2, another one. As my MMA fandom was growing, just have many years of following this man, many years of experience watching this man, many years of seeing this man go through different twists and turns throughout his career. It's the one and only the Count Michael Bisping. Belongs here. I think he is when you think of British MMA, he's the name, right? He is the guy at the top of that. And maybe one day it can be like a Tom Aspinall, but for now, to me, it continues to be Michael Bisping. Here we see the UFC 199 title win, the massive upset over Lou Rockhold that nobody thought would be possible, and he pulls off the impossible. But it was also just like seeing him as a debutante on Tough and this kind of like abrasive guy that everybody hated before the heel character was a thing. He was just kind of an asshole, and it endeared certain people to him, and it made other people hate him. I feel like early on, I probably disliked him because he was an asshole. Then as I matured more and kind of saw what the promotional element of it was, and he became more comfortable in the character, he just became this like incredible figure for British MMA, but also just for MMA in general. Get to the end of the career, it's clear that like he's beloved because of how long he's been doing it and the transition he made from just being like an asshole to being a great promoter and ambassador for the game. And then now he's a commentator for the UFC. He's an analyst. He does his own podcasts and things like that. Michael Bisping means a lot to I imagine many MMA fans out there. Meant a lot to me as I was becoming a fan. And then number one, I've talked about this before if you've paid attention, but it will be no surprise if you've heard me talk about this. Prince Naseem Hamed, the GOAT of highlight reels. Like, it does not get better than his highlight reel. I would put his highlight reel up against anybody's in any sport. If he was alive, he's alive today.
The magic carpet.
Look at this entrance on a magic carpet. He is alive. So
he's alive. He just looks very different.
He looks very different. What I meant to say was, if he was in his prime today, and it was a TikTok generation, he would be the biggest star in the world because of how digestible and exciting he is in short bursts. His entire career was this combination of speed and power and dodging shots and putting the tongue out and dancing when people miss. I had never seen anything like him when I was growing up, and like you had to download highlight reels on Kazaa and Morpheus and all these other platforms. What was it?
Lemon Light or LimeWire.
LimeWire. On LimeWire.
Shout out.
I'm downloading Prince Naseem highlights, and I'm just like transfixed. I could not believe what I was witnessing. They still hold up today. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them anywhere. If you go look for this, he was one of the most exciting. But it was beyond just like, it was the swag. It was the way he carried himself. It was beyond the fights. Like, his fighting style was incredibly exciting, as I've kind of tried to portray. But he's doing legit front flips into the ring over the top rope. He's coming out dancing. He's coming in on magic carpets. He was the ultimate showman, and his highlight reel is one of the best. It's still standing. If he was fighting in this time, I don't know if like TikTok could contain the excitement around Prince Naseem. I love Prince Naseem. I think there will be many who will say like once he hit a certain level of competition, that was when it was over for him and maybe like took his eye off the ball. But I don't care. I'd rank this with my heart and the level of excitement. Prince Naseem delivered that for me, and I love him.
All right, this is perfect because it'll just segue right into my list, which brings me to my number 5. Prince Naseem.
Oh,
you've been pushing me to go watch his highlights. This finally forced me to do it. I spent like 90 minutes last night watching dude's highlights. You got the cheetah print trunks, like the swag, the theatrics, the walkouts, the knockouts, the slips. Like he really was just like entertainment. It's like Ben Whittaker today, but he was doing it at a championship level. I watched all the way through that, and then to the fight that he finally loses, causing him to retire, and it was almost just like silk sheets. Like he had 40 mil in his bank account, and like he wasn't training as much, and he kind of started putting on weight. He's obviously put on much weight since then. I've now gotten to present day Prince Naseem. He's living the good life, man.
Living a good life.
Like, I fell down the rabbit hole, but man, the highlight reel is incredible. I mean, he truly is like one of the most entertaining boxers I've seen to do it at that level. That's what was so incredible about it. So shout out Prince Naseem. Number 4. So for me, like I did this more of accolades, a mix of accolades and heart. Number 4, Tom Aspinall. The potential here is just, the sky is the limit. Look at that with the English flag behind him. Interim heavyweight champion of the UFC right now, has a real shot at being undisputed, would be the 3rd English champion in UFC history, would be the first at the heavyweight division. Shortest average fight time right now in UFC history, 15 wins, 15 finishes, gets knockouts left, right, and center, can get submissions as well. Just an unbelievable fighter, is becoming a personality in the sport. 5, 6, 7 years, he might be number 1 on everyone's list. We don't know. We'll see. Right now, he's number 4. Number 3, first British champion in UFC history. You just talked about him. The Count, Michael Bisping, doing most of it on one eye. Just one eye out there. Won the belt as a plus 450 dog. He has done so much for British MMA. He's got the Union Jack right there. And, now he's doing great things on commentary as well. So shout out to the Count, Michael Bisping. Number 2, this is where the research kind of came in.
Okay.
Didn't really know a ton about him. The resume is insane. and this is why I said British fighters, not English fighters.
Who we got?
Welsh. Joe Calzaghe.
Oh, Calzaghe, yeah.
Yeah, man. 46-0. I didn't know much about this dude before I started doing the research. Longest reigning super middleweight champion in boxing history. Held the WBO belt for over a decade. Ring light heavyweight champion. Beat your boy Roy Jones Jr. Has some really impressive wins on his resume. Undefeated. Champ, like I just said, for a decade. Incredible resume. I watched some of his highlights as well. Very, very impressive dude.
Yeah, when you're talking accolades and resume, he's up there. I now that you've said that, I think I might know who's number one, but Calzaghe, like, up there.
I'm actually surprised no one else had my number one on their list. I actually find it shocking. Do we consider it a Canadian? Is that the reason? Is he a Canadian?
It's because, as I said, I went with my heart. I never was a Lennox guy.
I'm gonna say he's British. He repped the.
No, he's definitely British.
He repped Canada at the Olympics, but man. Olympic gold medalist, Commonwealth Games gold medalist,
British, yeah,
undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, wins over Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Hasim Rahman. It's Lennox Lewis. Look at him with the Union Jack and the WBC belt right there. Resume is absolutely insane. Before Usyk, 25 years, he was the last undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Surprised he didn't make the top 5. Didn't crack the top 5 either.
I think he's. Maybe I'm out of hand here, but I do believe he's most British people, like most people's number one British fighter. I think, and Calzaghe's probably number 2. Like these are the guys. As I said, I went with my heart.
I don't blame.
I was never a Lennox guy. I just he wasn't my guy. I don't know. I just never connected with him at the time.
I get it. And I was also too young for him, but like going back and just like watching docs and highlights and just looking at the resume.
Yeah,
I had to give him number
I was like a Tyson, like as you can see from my list, which is like instantaneous excitement, flashy knockout type guys. Maybe other than Bisping, right? I don't think Bisping necessarily fits that mold, but I was always more on that side of it. So I was always like Mike Tyson, but if you're talking like accolade, if you're talking like skill, ring craft, Lennox Lewis is the guy.
Unbelievable. All right. I like all our lists.
How do we feel? Very diverse.
Different.
Yeah, very different lists.
Tyson Fury making 2 of them. Did anyone make all 3? No.
I was surprised. I thought maybe Tommy would be on all 3.
Yeah, wow.
Me and
has
Frank
chosen.
Me and Frank.
Dakota did you at 1.
Oh, I thought you meant Tommy Fury for a second.
That would have been great. That would have been great. If
me and Frank shared Tyson. Me and you shared Bisping and Prince Nassim.
That's shocking. No consensus across the board. I'd be very interested to hear everybody else.
Yeah, if you're out there, especially I would say if you're British.
Weigh in. We have a British here at the office. He loves boxing, and I've been.
I have a feeling my list is not going to go down well with Ariel. I feel like leaving off Lennox.
Lennox Lewis is pretty well decorated. All right, Frank, we get any super chats today?
Super chats. We did, and we start with Mr. Clean. He
Shout
sends
out.
in 5 Canadians. Says lightweight pitcher,
yay or nay?
Nah, nay. Oliveira versus Hooker Arman versus Gaethje Poirier versus Holloway Islam versus Topuria.
Hold on. Leave this up for a second.
Each one.
Oliveira versus Hooker.
Oh, okay.
Arman versus Gaethje. Poirier versus Holloway. Islam versus Topuria.
All right.
Okay, I like that.
Let's start at the back end.
Yeah, I like that for the belt.
Holloway, Islam Topuria, I'm in. Boom.
Poirier Holloway, put that in New Orleans right now.
Yeah. No, bring that back. Bring that back.
Arman versus Gaethje? He's coming off a win. Yeah, I'm down as a number 1 contender fight. I don't think Gaethje's going to get the title shot, so I don't mind that. Oliveira Hooker's a banger, but is Oliveira going to take that? I don't think so.
I feel like you do Arman and Oliveira and Gaethje and Hooker.
I'm down for that as well.
That feels like
I think those you can play with those 4. I just don't think Oliveira's taking a Hooker fight, and I know Arman isn't taking a Hooker fight. Is Gaethje?
I think Gaethje might.
Then he stepped up for the physique.
I know.
I think the top 2 is we do Poirier Holloway in New Orleans and Islam Topuria.
Do not ruin the Poirier versus Holloway magic. I will say that. And yeah, I think Ilya. Look, if Ilya's going to vacate a belt, to me that's like, A, he probably got some kind of assurance from the UFC, but if not, B, I think he deserves that opportunity. So I think he can cut the line. I'm down for that.
What else, man?
All right, this was a twofer from Nick Gust. He writes, a little while back, I heard you guys talking about wanting someone to come on and do post-fight breakdowns. I'm your guy. I'm an expert in striking biomechanics, and I have done thousands of hours of film study. Here's the second part. Give me a fight to test my abilities. I'll break down the technical, tactical intricacies in an unlisted YouTube video and send it over to you. If I pass the test, send it up to the big dog. Shout out from the
Oh
Quad
shit!
Cities.
Shout out from the Quad Cities, Nick Gust. Are we going to
Maybe
see
we
you
run
at?
into Nick Gust.
Are we going to see him at UFC Des Moines? That sounds like an incredible idea. I guess the only hangup is that like we can't show fight footage,
Yeah.
which hurts from
That's the
a technical
that's the heart
breakdown
of the
standpoint.
technical
Maybe
breakdown.
his
He
breakdowns
goes.
are so good you don't even need to see it. He'll just describe it.
Yeah,
Well,
that really
look,
is the only hitch. But
he's
I
offering-
appreciate the super chat. And I appreciate the commitment, the passion, the excitement.
He's offering, to give it a whirl. I say let's go for it. Let's we've got a fight this weekend. Leon Edwards, Sean Brady.
And I mean, how could we go against the guy from our hometown of Des Moines, the Quad
Yeah.
Cities? That's our place.
Our new adopted
Well,
hometown.
as we found out this week, Des Moines, not a quad city, but also
Oh.
shout out to this guy. It seems like he'll be paying us for him to do the breakdown since he did just submit almost $40 in super chats.
Nah, super
Yeah.
chat. We appreciate your super chat.
Yes, thank you very much, Nick. Gus. You
This
sound like a big
this
man.
weekend's fight,
Money speaks volumes.
Leon, Sean Brady. Make that unlisted video, and let's see. And we'll give you we'll give you a fair shot.
Hasib wants to know Umar versus Jan as the main event for Azerbaijan.
Down.
Has the border connection to Russia. Umar said he needs 6 months after his surgery in January.
Down.
I don't hate it.
That's only 5 months later, but I'm down.
Can Fiziev be the main? I mean, the co-main though in Azerbaijan.
Yeah, I think so. I think you can. Like, that is a very good point. Like, Azerbaijan is not a huge country, and it does border all of these.
No, yeah. I mean, he said Georgia, Russia. Like, I think that's definitely a great fight and main event worthy. I'm just like,
Not only does it border Russia, but like it borders in the closest possible spot to Dagestan.
yeah.
Um,
Ariel was saying, I feel like Fiziev should get a main event, but
you could. Armenia is right there, dude. You could do Armin Sarukian in the main event. Do Armin Sarukian in the main event and do Rafael Fiziev in the co-main event and make it the Danny Rubinstein.
Armin
card.
versus who? Yeah, shout out to Danny Rubinstein. Armin versus who though? On a fight night, Armin?
You could put Armin on a fight night. He doesn't have a belt. A main event of a fight night?
Who?
Yeah, you can't do Charles.
Charles and
Charles
Armin?
is on
That's a
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view.
What did that guy just say? Armin versus
Hooker?
Nah. Armin
Gaethje.
versus Gaethje.
That's not a fight night either. That's a pay-per-view co-main. Nah, I don't see it. I don't see it. Fiziev, man.
Bring out the big guns for Crystal Hall.
I don't mind that fight. I like that fight quite a bit actually. Umar versus Jan. I'd watch that. I just feel like Fiziev deserves a spot. But at the same time, look, if he's still fighting on the card and he's still able to
Put him
bring
in
out
the
his fans,
co-main.
maybe he doesn't mind fighting 3 instead of 5. I'm down for that.
Or just make it 5.
Or just make it 5. Yeah, I'm down.
And he's fighting his hometown. I'm hyped for Azerbaijan. That's going to be back-to-back UFC events for me. Atlanta to Azerbaijan.
Julian says, love the show. Rick, what was Prime Showtime like?
Oh boy, what was Prime Showtime like? Exciting as all hell. Like it just felt like, I guess for those who are not paying attention, Showtime is Anthony Pettis, or not paying attention. Maybe this is a dated reference. Maybe you're not, you're a newer fan. Showtime. By the way, I'm assuming that he's talking about Anthony Pettis.
I thought he was
Maybe
talking
the
about
network?
Showtime Sports. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me tell you, when they had Bellator and that Bellator intro hit, and you had a minus 600 in your parlay that closed minus 9,000, and then you watched them lose a 30-26 decision, that was prime Showtime, baby. It was great.
Oh, fuck me. Can we ask, can Frank, Jordan, somebody ask that person if they're still in the chat to clarify? But I'm going to talk about Anthony Pettis for a second.
Do Anthony Pettis.
Because I think it's about Anthony Pettis. I can't overstate how innovative the Showtime kick felt at the moment, right? Like it was getting to that point where we had thought we had seen everything inside the cage in MMA and like evolution was going to be hard. And when he did that, it's so iconic. It's so crazy. It got him onto a Wheaties box at a certain point. because everybody's like, oh my God, the greatest KO in MMA history. And it's not even a KO. Benson Henderson went on to get up and be in a decision because it just couldn't, like, people can't fathom that happened and that it wasn't a knockout.
I feel like that is like the casual barometer there.
It's like,
just
do you know that was not a knockout?
Remember this knockout?
Yeah.
Because I saw it like 15 times. I was like, man, what a knockout. And then one of y'all was just like, it's not a knockout.
It's not a knockout. But he was doing things that I think were extremely unusual at the time. A great, like, kind of creative, flowy striker. Got into, like, the Anthony Pettis-Benson Henderson rivalry is one of those that's probably going to be lost to time a little bit. But, like, those two were fantastic together because they were so different. Anthony was flashy. He was Showtime. He was the striker. And Benson was more this just, like, kind of awkward meat and potatoes kind of guy, finding weird inefficiencies in MMA and exploiting them. Interesting grappling angles, not like the same type of striker, more body work. It was just like a great rivalry that I think if you're a fan of MMA, it would be worth kind of like revisiting. The title run was very short. Like it was not a long title reign for Anthony Pettis, but at his peak, cover of the Wheaties box, like supernova, really fun guy to watch. One of those guys that is worth going back to see. So loved the Showtime era. I'm considering that more than just the title reign, like just his kind of ascent. And he got his like first kind of like mainstream thing. Like he was followed by a documentary crew for, I believe the name of the series was like Life of Jenks. There was a guy named Andrew Jenks who was like a filmmaker who followed him around. He did a 30-minute thing for him that aired on MTV, and he has an incredible story. Anthony has an incredible story about his father and his family, and obviously now his little brother Sergio is a very accomplished martial artist as well. Great ambassador for the sport. Always did the right thing. Megawatt smile, flashy. I love Anthony Pettis, and I think he's worth revisiting if you haven't. And now, if you're talking about Showtime, Connor said it all. If you're talking about Showtime Sports, Connor said it all.
Before we get to this next one,
Yeah.
Jason Carney submitted his pound for pound
Okay.
top 5. However, there's some confusion. Is he ranking them 1 through 5 or 5 through 1?
We'll be the judge of that.
Let's read it both ways. So 1, Bisping. 2, Leon Edwards. 3, Ian Freeman. 4, Tom. 5, Lee Murray.
Shout out Lee Murray.
So that feels like that's MMA?
Yeah.
Just strictly MMA? No boxing in there?
For sure MMA. You are aware of the Lee Murray story, right?
Yeah.
You know about the bank robbery.
Yeah.
And
So that's why, are we putting that one as the top or the bottom of the 5?
I mean, if we're ranking fighters / bank robbers, like he's probably number 1.
Yeah, and he had the incredible walkout.
The Hannibal Lecter mask. It's a good list. I mean, I feel like Tom's already past Ian Freeman at this point. Maybe just on like, pioneer status, but like, yeah, I don't know if Lee Murray makes the list. I don't think he just had enough time in MMA. I guess he had a decent bit. It wasn't UFC, but like he had a decent bit. Bisping feels number 1 for sure. I would say like maybe Dan Hardy. I don't know. I like it. It's solid. Shout out Jason.
Shout out Jason Carney.
Then we have Terrence who says, who leaves Vegas with more, Rick playing poker or GC with the sports bet?
Rick playing poker for sure. I can sport bet wherever. Like it's not like a special thing when I go to Vegas.
Do you get any rush from like betting in Vegas on sports?
So when we went for the Sphere card, I like getting the paper slip. It like feels all official. I'll never be doing that again because we went and we bet at the Yahoo Sportsbook and I won a bunch of money. And me and you walked the entire strip at like 2 a.m. after the card all the way down to the Venetian to cash the ticket. And then we get there and the sportsbook's closed. And so we couldn't cash it. So I had to give you the ticket to give to Oscar so he could cash it the next morning. And
Shout out to Oscar Willis.
Shout out to Oscar Willis. It was a whole mess. So yeah, I'll just stick to the apps. So yeah, I think it's fun to sit in the sports books, but there's a sports book down the road from me, and like there's the like appeal and allure. I remember the first time I ever went to a sports book, I was like, this is crazy. Like, holy shit. Now they've just become so regulated and it's so legalized within the States, and you can just pull your phone out and it just like
There was something that felt like seedy about it. It was like kind of like
it's almost like when
illegal.
you start drinking and like you're underage. It's just like you get a rush. It's like we're not supposed to be doing this, but we're doing it, baby.
And now it's the only thing. It's like in your face.
Yeah, it's like so in your face. It loses the appeal of it. So yeah, it's not as crazy. So yeah, when Rick goes, he obviously plays poker and does very well for himself.
Yeah, I do all right.
So yeah, shout out.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
All right. Super chats are done. UFC London is done. I got an hour to get home before tip. My dogs taking on Gonzaga. But one last thing I do want to get to before we go is that BKFC announced, I'm all over the place over here, announced Ice Fights, I believe is the name. Let's run the promo for it real quick. BKFC announced a new league for sanctioned hockey fights on the ice. You're going to be in full hockey equipment, MMA gloves, 3 to 5 rounds of 90 seconds, 900 square foot ice enclosure. 900 square feet's kind of big. That's going to be ridiculous. First event on June 14th. Ice Wars is the official name, bare knuckle. Here's the promo for it. That takes grace, ice skating. That takes beauty, ice skating still. And elegance, sure does. And throws it away.
In the trash.
Look at that. This is it. So have they done this before? This looks ridiculous. You have to wear the whole hockey gear. Is Ice Wars a thing and like BKFC purchased it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be watching.
Sign me up.
Did I see a DraftKings tweet in there? Are they gonna have lines on this? Because if so, I'll place a wager. I'll place a wager on it. This looks ridiculous.
You get to flip the jersey over their head and everything. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
No goals. It's just fights.
Important questions.
Hockey's toughest enforcer.
Okay, so are they all hockey players? I guess I assume that they all had to have played hockey. But now, as you're one of these guys, do you start training with other hockey enforcers, or you start training with like boxers, MMA fighters? Probably MMA, right? Because there's a little bit of clinch work, there's a little bit of dirty boxing. Do you get like Mike Perry? And do we see a crossover? Does Mike Perry go into the ice skating?
I would love it. That would be so ridiculous. Here's GSP tweeting Superman punch in the NHL. This is a few weeks ago now, but I mean, like, pick looks pretty sick. Yeah. Hockey gear, MMA gloves, and some either hockey players fighting, but ridiculous. That's a way to make a splash if you're BKFC.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously like outlandish.
Almost like slap fighting.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, it's out. No, because they can actually defend themselves. Actually, so
yeah,
still better than slap fighting. It's obviously outlandish, and even from the promo where they're talking about like all these things, and then it's like throw it in the trash. Like they know how kind of like outlandish and ridiculous this is. But like, if there's a market for it, I guess.
I don't know how much of a market there is. Like, I don't know if it's gonna stick, but like, I think people.
No, this will not be like the next new thing.
Of course,
we know
not.
that.
I just think people will watch it, and it'll be like kind of.
Does it almost become like just like you do it as like a side attraction to BKFC, where it's like we're at X Arena, we just have this as well. You just do like something.
I think that would be the thing. I don't know if I'm going to tune into an entire event of Ice Wars.
Yeah, like what's the point of making them both fight worse? You know what I'm saying? Like if they were standing in front of each other without the pads on and without the ice skates on, they'd be fighting better. Why do we want them to like fight worse? I don't think it produces like a good outcome.
I think just, from the peanut gallery here.
Yeah, please.
I think the more limitations you make, like you're showing a different type of game.
It's like leveling the playing field almost too.
Like you want to handicap some things just to see, well, how do you do in this way? So again, like if Mike Perry did something like this, he could say, I do it bare knuckle and I do it on the frickin' ice.
I'm the best in the ring and I'm the best on the ice.
Now, if it turns out he doesn't do well because like the skates screw him up, then we know that about him too, and I just think that's all more interesting.
So you're signing up for Mike Perry versus Luke Rockhold on the ice.
But yes,
I think the first
and Eddie Alvarez, all of it. Jeremy Stevens, get back in there.
I think the first event is actually the weekend of UFC Atlanta, so I'll have to be streaming it on my phone. But yeah, BKFC Ice Wars. I'll watch. That's the tagline for me. I'll watch.
I'll watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is more palatable to me than slap fighting for sure.
When do they get their first NHL fighter to sign?
Well, are these guys not NHL? Like some of these enforcers, are they not?
Maybe like old school. I feel like we're getting some AHL.
We need to do a little more research and a little more digging into the roster, right? Like, are they going to allow just fighters to put on? Like, do you have to have played hockey at some kind of like competitive level, or can you be like Mike Perry's not going to do this, but I'm just saying a random like BKFC fighter who's like, yeah, I just want to get in there and put on the.
I think some of them will do it.
I want to know what the stoppages are like, because traditionally in hockey, like the refs hang back a little bit. They're like, let them get it out. Like, does that happen, or is it like, because it's a sanction, we've got to jump in? Like, someone looks like they're going to get hurt, or are they looking for knockouts? Like,
okay, and also, do you have hockey refs, or do you have like Herb Dean on ice skates?
Oh my god,
Herb Dean on ice skates, Mark Goddard on ice skates.
Marky God on skates.
Yeah, Marky God on skates. I'm down. I'll watch. There it is.
I'll watch.
What's your review of the, what are your thoughts on BKFC Ice Wars? I'll watch. We'll see what happens from there. It'll be great.
You reminded me of one thing. I just want to give a shout out.
Shout out.
Floyd Garand, I hope I said that correctly. Sorry, Floyd. He had been writing into On the Nose like 15 times, specifically asking about Taylor Lapilus. And in Ariel's conversation with Morgan Charrier, the answer came about. He got a resolution to kind of where Taylor is in terms of his negotiations with the UFC and why he was not released but became a free agent. And so that was answered. But I told him, I was like, if this does not get answered, I promise you I will read it. Fortunately, it got answered. We don't have to ask the question, but I just wanted to shout him out because he had been messaging me. And shout out to Taylor.
Shout out to Taylor, man. Appreciate you always tuning in. All right. I think that'll do it. Now it's time to go watch my dogs play. 4:30 tip against Gonzaga. Are we going to win? I don't know, but we're dancing. First time in 10 years. It's going to be great. Watch The Crack tomorrow. Further preview for UFC London. You get that UK Ireland perspective from the great Pete Carroll. And then watch the post show. 3POC is back on Saturday. Chuck, Ariel, Pizzi breaking down UFC London, everything that happened. That'll be on Saturday evening here in the States. And then we'll be right back there on Monday with the Ariel Helwani show. Enjoy the fights. Enjoy the hoops if you're watching. See you next time.